It's 6 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: US drone strike targets jihadi John. Parents of Hemel teenager facing battle for specialist treatment. And Milton Keynes team to stay in Formula One.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The US military has carried out a drone strike targeting the Islamic State militant known as Jihadi John. The extremist, who's been identified as a British man, appeared in several videos showing Western hostages being beheaded. From Washington, Laura Bicker.
The airstrike took place around the Syrian city of Raqqa in the last few hours. The Pentagon says this was a targeted strike aimed at killing Mohammed Emwazi, also known as Jihadi John. He appeared masked and dressed all in black in a video where the American journalist James Foley is murdered. He's also believed to have been involved in the murders of British aid workers David Haynes and Alan Henning and the Japanese journalist Kenji Goto. US officials say they're assessing the results of the operation and are yet to determine whether it has been successful.
The parents of a Hemel Hempstead teenager who came off his moped and was left paralysed say they're facing a battle to secure specialist treatment for him. 15-year-old Christian Lee Thompson suffered serious head injuries in the incident on the disused Nicky railway line in July. One man has been arrested. 2 police officers are under investigation. More from Matt Lockwood.
Christian Lee had to have surgery on his skull and was in a coma for 2.5 weeks following the accident. His parents say they had secured a place for Christian Lee at a rehabilitation centre in Surrey run by the Children's Trust, but the charity has since said they cannot meet his complex needs. The circumstances surrounding how the teenager sustained his injuries are being investigated by Herts Police and the Independent Police Complaints Commission.
A meeting is taking place today in Luton into the ongoing housing crisis in the town and surrounding areas. Local authorities from Bedfordshire and Hertfordshire are meeting with London Borough Councils, which continue to place their homeless population in the region. The government's considering whether to restrict access by some British people to in-work benefits so it can legally stop EU migrants from receiving them too. David Cameron has said he wants migrants to wait 4 years before they qualify. Sir Terry Wogan's been forced to pull out of presenting tonight's Children in Need because of back problems. More from Colin Patterson.
Terry Wogan hosted the very first Children in Need back in 1980, and he's done every one since. That is 35 years in a row. We believe it's because of procedure he's having on his back. His doctor has said he is simply not up to hosting a TV show which starts at 7:30 in the evening and doesn't finish until 2 in the morning.
In sport, the boss of the Milton Keynes Red Bull team says they will race in Formula One next season after months of threatening to quit the sport in a row over a new engine. Christian Horner's comments also safeguard hundreds of jobs at the team's Tilbrook base in Milton Keynes. The weather: windy with squally showers and feeling colder, a maximum temperature 10 degrees Celsius. And you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/Three Counties.
Well, we're going to have a look at the accumulator now and have a look at this, and we made over £60 million.
Yep,
I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Piece of cake.
Absolute piece of cake. Now, this should work. Hang on. There we go, crackles.
Help! I need somebody. Help! Not just anybody.
Stop the record. Paul Scoins is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Yes! Yes! Scoins is back! Scoinsy! 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 Yes! Back to the Beatles.
Help! You know I need someone. Help! When I was young, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. And now these days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind, I've opened up a door. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being round. I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind. I've opened up the door. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being round. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me, help me, help me.
Just saying to, I'm so sorry, Catherine, that the best, but there are three people. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. There are three groups that have the best backing vocals in the world, and I'll tell you who they are. Then we will explain it. You're right. What's wrong?
Just thinking about one of the groups that you mentioned. Do that bit, and then I'll tell you why I did that.
The Beatles. Great backing vocals, great harmonies, a little bit rough around the edges, although if they do something like Because from Abbey Road, it's heavenly, but there's also like counter melodies and they're telling a different story with the backing vocals. Same with the Beach Boys. Incredible harmonies. Generally, they're singing a different song. You listen to When I Grew Up to Be a Man, different song altogether. And the third one, Take That, for the same reasons. They have their backing vocals are very, very busy.
Take That, right?
And party.
Sing this.
Come on, take that. And party.
Maybe not that one, but Pray I never really liked. Well, I do that one, right?
Don't upset them again.
But listen.
Yes?
I never liked it. Then I heard the a cappella version they did. It's so beautiful. It's one of those where the harmonies kind of make your eye twitch a little bit because it's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
We'll have to find it.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. So,
At some point.
so let's go and have a look at the accumulator now, and we made over £60 million.
It's good, but it's not right.
No.
Oh.
What's going on here then? Are you trying to make my little show go away forever?
I thought Terry Wogan
actual
was
Wogan.
ill. I thought Wogan was ill. What is that? Is that you, Danny?
Yeah.
Oh, you little...
He's really good.
No, he's not.
He's so
Take a
good.
look at how
All right,
our money is helping children across the country get better.
All right, okay, fine. We'll have... and I'm not going to abbreviate this. We're going to have a Wogan off.
I woke off.
Wow, okay.
Mate, you've nearly
It's
ruined that there.
okay.
It's just about... Okay. Oh, no. Let me have a little look here. Oh, what's this?
You sound like Father Christmas.
Your echo's putting me... I've got an echo out there. Turn the echo off.
Turn the speaker
Hold on,
off.
let me find this
He
switch.
doesn't even know how to do that. I could do that.
Wogan wouldn't find his own
Is that
switch.
work?
Okay. No. There's...
Oh.
Sorry, who's that?
Okay. Well, that wasn't bad, was it?
Where was it? Was it Father Christmas?
It's Wogan. Okay.
Oh my God.
What? Okay. Okay. Now, we've got a letter here. From Terry. And Terry. Oh, no, I'm Terry. All right. Tell me something he says. Oh, okay. Okay. We're going to go over now to Test Daily and see what's going on. Over there is the cast of EastEnders.
You sound like a hairy biker.
Oh, for
Sound
crying
like you're
out.
straining.
Yeah, you do.
Well, that's what he's put his back out for. He's doing that voice for over 70
It's not
years.
his real voice.
Danny, show him how it's
Hold
done.
on. Okay. Oh, my voice has gone.
No, you're doing
Hey!
it.
Hey! Oh, yeah. All right.
Okay, now let us go over to EastEnders and find out what's happening on Albert Square.
Okay, now let's go into the TARDIS and find out what Canine's up to with the Doctor.
Peter Capaldi is going to bring us some excellent...
He's so good.
I don't remember there was a short blonde lad that worked here and left for his... I don't remember his name, but I want that guy back. Not that guy.
He's so good.
I have presented a breakfast television programme, the successor to The Big Breakfast. Admittedly, there was one episode where it rated 0 viewers.
Yeah.
There were several episodes where we were beaten by Noddy.
But it turns out you can't do
But I can
Wogan.
do... He couldn't do the pressure. All right, you do Wogan, and then I'm going to be talking in your earpiece.
Okay, so you're listening to Terry Wogan.
We've got 10 seconds
here
left. We
on
need to wrap
BBC
up now.
Radio 2.
Okay.
Can you stop talking in my ear?
You see?
But that's what Wogan would do.
Can't do it.
Listen, get out of the bitter barn and play in the hay, Ian.
Wowzers,
He's
I
beaten
mean-
you. He's younger than you.
I'm just doing this because you're all fired.
This is Iain Lee.
On BBC Three Counties Radio.
Don't worry, guys. There's a hashtag get Scoins on the air immediately. Scoins is coming. He'll be on the air soon. I promise, guys. I promise. And he'll be talking about Jeremy Corbyn. Is that what he's talking about today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeremy Corbyn's going to be local and vocal.
Jeremy Corbyn, local, vocal. Scoins will be discussing it. And also, if you've got anything...
Local, vocal and bifocal.
And if you've got anything... mate, I don't think we can say that he's bifocal. I think he's married. If you've got anything that you want Scoins to discuss, at Iain Lee, hashtag it, and we'll. I don't know what I'm saying. Here we go. On to a serious story. The parents of a teenager left paralysed after a moped accident in Hemel say they're struggling to get him specialist rehabilitation. 15-year-old Christian Lee Thompson suffered serious head injuries when he came off his bike in July. He was riding along the Nicky Line, which is a stretch of disused railway track which has been turned into a path and cycle route. How do we know about how this young man got hurt?
Well, the details are sketchy and we do have to be careful about how much we say, but we do know that a 61-year-old man was arrested and bailed, and 2 police officers are currently under investigation by the Independent Police Complaints Commission after this incident on July the 16th this year. Now, the allegation against the 61-year-old is that he saw Christian Lee riding along this route that should only be for pedestrians and push bikes and knocked him off his moped. Now, police are asking anyone who saw what actually happened to call their non-emergency 101 number. And they're also looking into how the 2 officers called to the scene at the Nicky Line that day dealt with Christian Lee. The IPCC have told us the 2 officers who attended the incident have been served with notices informing them they're under investigation, and criminal interviews concerning allegations of assault will be conducted in the near future. We've also heard from Detective Inspector Pete Frost from Hertfordshire Police, who told us our thoughts remain with Christian Lee and his family at this very difficult time.
In the meantime, what's happened to Christian Lee?
Well, he was taken by air ambulance to the Royal London Hospital, where he underwent emergency surgery to ease the pressure on his brain. He was then in a coma for 2.5 weeks and intensive care for almost a month. He's paralysed now. He's staying on a surgical ward where there are no paediatric neurology doctors or nurses, and his parents feel that they need to be there 24 hours to provide the round-the-clock care he needs. He is also getting some rehabilitation, and his mum and dad are grateful for that, but say he could be getting more in a specialist unit.
OK, so how much does he get? How much would his parents like him to get?
Well, it amounts to around 7 hours each week at the moment at the Royal London, but his parents say that in a specialist unit where they'd like him to be, he'd get 8 hours every single day. Now, they fear that without this more intense rehabilitation scheme, their son's chances of being able to walk again or indeed talk again will be severely affected. The frustrating thing for them is that Christian Lee was set to get some expert rehab at the start of October. His parents say they had secured a place at the Children's Trust Paediatric Residential Rehab Centre in Surrey, but recently they got some news from the charity that they didn't want to hear.
Which was
that they can no longer meet Christian's complex needs. We had a word with them yesterday, and the spokesperson told us that before coming to the Children's Trust, all children undergo an assessment to ensure that intensive rehab is suitable for the child and that we're the right place to be able to fully meet their needs. We've assessed Christian Lee on 2 occasions, and more recently our assessment team determined that we are not currently able to meet his individual needs and therefore a not suitable option for his rehabilitation.
He was riding a moped where he shouldn't have been riding a moped, right? Naughty. Whatever may have specifically happened to one side, no one could wish that on a kid. He's a kid that was dicking around. It's a dicking, actually. I realised it sounded worse when I muted myself. So he was a kid who was messing around where he shouldn't have been messing around. But you wouldn't wish a kid to get serious injuries like that. It's absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific. Poor lads, poor family. We're speaking to the dad later on. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll say he shouldn't have been there. But still,
I'm sure his parents know that.
Yeah, but still, no one could wish an injury like that on a kid who was just being an idiot. And we've all been idiots. A 15-year-old flipping out. Of course, was an idiot. Really sad story. OK, we'll have a little look at that later on. 03459 455 555 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Literally no idea what's in the papers today because I've been busy emailing my my friends in the gay Christian community today just to let them know how I'm getting on and stuff. So I've not looked in the papers. So I tell you what I'm going to do. This is what we're going to do. This is dangerous. Look, this is dangerous radio. Hey, Bernie Keith, this is how you do it. Right. Bernie Keith.
How embarrassing.
Bless him. Right, Danny, and I want Danny, not Wogan.
Okay.
You got that echo again!
I can't help that. Oh, hold on, yes I can, look.
Yeah, I can, look. Oh. Catherine, I've got the Daily Mirror. We'll pick a page at random, and we'll pick a funny story from it, and we'll talk about it. We'll workshop it.
Hang on, I've got the Mail. They might not be funny in it.
I've got the Mirror. We're going to go do travel in a minute, but go on, she can wait. She's normally late anyway. Go. No. What are you doing?
I opened it.
No, exactly. You're supposed to give... No, it's me.
Oh, right, okay. You said to me, pick a page, so I opened it.
From my newspaper. I said, I've got the Mirror. I didn't even mention that you had a newspaper. You brought that into the conversation, so obviously that was not part of the deal. The deal was I've got the Mirror. Whose name is above the door?
There's no names above the door.
No, I know, not It made me so angry.
BBC's. No?
I'm furious now. I mean, not literally. Whose metaphorical name?
Do you mean who gets the blame? Because that's me.
Right, okay. Right. Travel. It's the start of the show.
My fault.
Got to start the show. Yeah, your fault.
Apparently. Sorry.
Well, whose fault is it?
Apparently mine.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's quiet so far this morning on the M1 in both directions. There's roadworks between junction 12 for Flitwick and 11 for Dunstable still, so that could cause some delays if you're heading through there when it starts to get busy. In St Albans on the North Orbital Road, expect queues between the Park Street roundabout and the London Coney roundabout because there's a lane closed each way there. And in West Wickham on Oxford Road, there's roadworks at the junction for Old Oxford Road, so expect that to get busy too. On the trains, Virgin Trains West Coast have reported 10-minute delays between London Euston and Glasgow Central, so that's because of a signalling problem between Wigan and Preston. Samantha Braff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much indeed. Sorry, Catherine, you just whispering something irrelevant about your granny.
Used to live in Wigan.
There we go. That's it. Why would anyone say that to someone? Firstly, why was she talking about Glasgow trains?
And Preston.
And she said Glasgow. Good for her.
Yeah.
It's Glasgow. But why would you tell me about your nana?
I love her.
So do I. Yeah, that's right.
She doesn't like you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh.
I love your nana. What are you going to do about it? Soon you're going to call me Gramps. Yeah, try it. Say, Grampy Iain. Go on, try it. Go on.
Actually, that's not a massive stretch, is it?
6:17. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. The US military has carried out a drone strike targeting the Islamic State militant known popularly as Jihadi John. The parents of a Hemel Hempstead teenager who came off his moped and was left paralysed say they're facing a battle to secure specialist treatment for him. And the boss of the Milton Keynes Red Bull team says they will race in Formula One next season. Safeguarding...
Every weekday morning.
Isn't it nice to have a good discussion about things in a polite way?
My opinion is...
You make a very valid point.
As long as the person can do the job, I don't care.
Hence, I'm saying she's completely out of touch.
It doesn't always happen like that, though, does it?
Well, if you let me speak, I'll let you know what they are then.
Well, that don't prove that an accident's been caused, does it?
The JVS Show.
My big phone in every morning from 9 gets everybody talking.
First of all, I congratulate you. Got a very good topic on this morning. I'd like to share some experiences.
I'm not going to respond to that statement because I find that quite inflammatory.
The JVS Show. Weekdays from 9 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Jeremy Corbyn is coming to Stevenage tomorrow, his first visit there as leader of the Labour Party. He's speaking at the party's conference. It's a target seat for Labour. It used to hold the town and then lost it. Well, political reporter Paul Scoins is here.
Hi, morning.
Nice to see you.
Great to be here.
It's a town of two halves.
It is.
Labour Council, Conservative MP. Is that unusual?
It's not unique. No, you've got that in Milton Keynes as well. We've got two Conservative MPs there, and you've got a Labour council, Labour-led council. We haven't got any other places, have we? We've got Luton, Labour MPs and Labour council. So no, it's in a small number of councils in that situation.
Corbyn is coming.
He is coming.
How is it? Well, this is the question that is written here. Corbyn is coming. Will he go down well? I don't know who wrote that.
I did.
Wow.
I wrote that.
Okay.
Will he go down well with the people of Stevenage? I should have probably finished that sentence.
Yeah, will he go down well there in Stevenage?
I think he probably will. I mean, bearing in mind that it is, as you say, a Labour town. It's got a sort of a... I say it's a Labour town. It's got, it's an industrial place. It's got the old aerodrome. It's got a lot of industry there now still. And just before the leadership election, I went over to Stevenage. I spoke to this guy who was 80 years old. He was trying to join the Labour Party. He'd left the party in '94 when Tony Blair joined. He hated New Labour. And he refused to take part in any sort of membership ever since then. And he was inspired to come back to the party by Jeremy Corbyn. He said he was a socialist. He supported the unions, and this is something that he said that Tony Blair wasn't doing. And so, he was coming back. He wanted to join by paying by cheque, and of course Labour said Labour wouldn't do that. They sent his cheque back. So this chap was like, I want to try and pay budget, and they said, you can pay on the internet. He said, I'm 80 years old, I don't know how to do it. So he has now joined. I spoke to him yesterday, and you'll be speaking to one of his friends a bit later on. But he
was too busy to come on himself? He hasn't got a telephone because he's old? He's asleep?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Is that?
Nursey says he can't come on. I want to speak to the old guy.
Well, yeah. I mean, shall I give the old guy a call?
Wake him up. Old people, and this is true.
They love being woken up early, don't they? They love it.
No,
My
they wake
grandma's up from 5.
Old people, because you sleep less as you get older, Scoins. I know you're still a young man. You wait till you honestly.
My grandma will be plotting like dinner now.
If you just speak into the microphone, Catherine, it makes
She will though. I mean, she wakes up and immediately thinks about meals.
You have less sleep. He'll be up now.
Well, he might be.
Okay. Are you going to go and see him?
Well, I'm not. I'm not invited. We have got one of our correspondents going.
Who's going?
Andrew Sinclair's going.
Who? Who's he?
Sorry? Which desk does he sit at here at BBC Three Counties Radio?
He's in our Norwich newsroom.
Oh, right, yeah. Norwich.
He's gone before. I went to one a couple of years ago. I interviewed Ed Miliband.
So you alternate who goes and
yeah, we can't
speaks?
go to everyone.
No, okay. You're disappointed that you're not going?
They're pretty dry affairs, to be honest.
Okay.
But it would be interesting to hear him. He's doing a speech tomorrow lunchtime.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to be in it, I'm afraid. I've not been briefed. I've tried to be briefed, but I've not been briefed.
Well, good for them. I don't like it when they when they release the contents of the speech to the press before.
Yeah.
It's a speech. Go and watch the speech.
I get a sense they probably don't know what he's going to say yet. But
freestyling, the freewheeling Jeremy Corbyn.
Freewheeling Jeremy Corbyn. He's probably doing this sort of thing where he just like drops the works well on.
Okay.
Yeah. It's from a Dylan video.
You've not been here for a month, so... Johnny's in the basement mixing up. I got that, we've got that. It's the only Bob Dylan song I allowed to play on this radio station.
The interesting thing, I suppose, is that there's the Conservative MP for Stevenage, Stephen McPartland, increased his majority at the last election. Labour were really confident they had Stevenage in the bag last time round, with the leader of the council, Sharon Taylor, standing as the MP. But she lost, and she lost by more than she lost the time before. And Stephen McPartland's been a very vocal. What's the opposite of advocate?
Advocate.
That's a delicious eggnog drink.
Opponent,
yes, of the government's tax credits reforms, and he's been, voting against them. So, there's got to be some sort of synergy.
Yeah.
It's a horrible word.
No, but
great band.
Yeah. between, obviously Labour very anti-tax credits, and now Stephen McPartner is. So you wonder why they're coming up. I did talk to Stephen McPartner yesterday, and he said it's because it's the closest area outside of London for Labour. And
while this song is playing,
easy way,
Paul Scoins is going to be reenacting the video. So if you can go and stand in the alley at the back of the building, take those sheets of paper with you.
Yep.
And I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks
Paul
very
Scoins,
much. Thanks.
Off you go.
John is in the basement mixing up the medicine. I'm on the pavement thinking about the government. The man in a trench coat, bad job laid off, says he's got a bad cough, wants to get it paid off. Look out, kid, it's something you did. God knows when, but you're doing it again. You better duck down the alleyway looking for a new friend. The man in a coonskin cap and a pig pen wants $11 bills. You only got 10. Maggie comes Fleetfoot, face full of black soot, talking at the heat, put plants in the bed, but the phone's tapped anyway. Maggie says the men say they must bust an early man. Orders from the DA, look out kid, don't matter what you did, but walk on your tiptoes, don't tie no bows, better stay away from those that carry around a fire hose. Keep a clean nose, wash your plain clothes, you don't need a weatherman to know which way the wind blows. Oh, get sick, get well, hang around the inkwell, hang bell, hard to tell if anything is gonna sell. Try hard, get fought, get back, ride rail, get jail, jump bail, join the army if you fail. Look out, kid, you're gonna get hit by losers, cheaters, six-time users, hanging around the theaters. Girl by the whirlpools, looking for a new fool, don't follow leaders, or watch your parking meters. Oh, get born, keep warm, short pants, romance. Learn to dance, get dressed, get blessed. Try to be a success. Please her, please him. Buy gifts, don't steal, don't live. 20 years of schooling and they put you on the day shift. Look out, kid, they keep it all hid. Better jump down a manhole, light yourself a candle. Don't wear sandals, try to avoid the scandals. Don't wanna be a bum, you better chew gum. The pump don't work cause the vandals took the handle.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's building up on the M25 anti-clockwise around junction 19 for Watford, and also it's busy on the North Orbital Road in Brookett at the M25 junction 21A roundabout. In Neaston on the North Circular Road at Keys westbound between the M1 at Staples Corner through the roadworks towards the Neaston interchange, and in Great Missenden the Link Road has roadworks going on at the junction for the A413. It got quite busy there yesterday, so expect some queues again today. In Bedford on the A6 Paula Redcliffe Way there's roadworks in both directions at Clapham Road, so that could also cause some delays. And on the trains, the services between London Euston to Glasgow Central have 10-minute delays, so that's affecting trains heading through Bedfordshire. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 6:30. I'm Simon Oxley. The US military has carried out a drone strike targeting the Islamic State militant known as Jihadi John. The parents of a Hemel Hempstead teenager who came off his moped and was left paralysed say they're facing a battle to secure specialist treatment for him. And a meeting is taking place today in Luton into the ongoing housing crisis in the town and surrounding areas. Local authorities from Bedfordshire and Hertfordshire are meeting with London Borough Councils.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The boss of the Milton Keynes Red Bull team says they will race in Formula One next season after months of threatening to quit the sport in a row over a new engine. It's thought they've struck a deal with current engine supplier Renault. Christian Horner's comments also safeguard hundreds of jobs at the team's Tilbrook base in Milton Keynes. Horner was speaking in Brazil, where first practice gets underway later ahead of Sunday's Grand Prix.
We're homing in on a conclusion, that hopefully can be achieved in the coming days, and we will be in Melbourne next year, and hopefully the conclusion that we reach is going to enable us to be more competitive in the 2016 season.
England's footballers play Spain this evening in a friendly in Alicante. Former Milton Keynes Dons midfielder Dele Alli could make his first start. The Republic of Ireland are away to Bosnia-Herzegovina in the first leg of their Euro 2016 playoff. There are no matches tomorrow for Watford, MK Dons or Wycombe because of the international break. Wycombe host Leeds in a friendly tonight with a 7:30 kick-off at Adams Park. In League 2 tomorrow, Luton host Barnet, Stevenage go to Yeovil. The Hatters have only won 2 home league matches this season. Manager John Still knows that needs to improve.
There's been a couple of games where we've been really patient and won it, and I think there's been a couple of games where, I'm not going to use the word luck because it's something I believe in, but on another day, the late goals, sometimes through literally no fault of your own. It's just how it happens. But certainly we have to improve our own form.
Athletics World Governing Body will make a decision today on whether to ban Russia from the sport following the damning report into doping. And England's cricketers face Pakistan in the second one-day international in Abu Dhabi. England are 1 down in the 4-match series. BBC Three Counties News and Sport, the next full bulletin at 7.
Enjoy the silence. I'm just playing. I'm just playing with technology. Facebook.com/Iain Lee. It really is the place to hang out for all the fun guys. And I think, I'm doing a thing where. Oh no. Is it? I don't know what's going on, Catherine.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do it so I can put a video on. I can stream the show live on Facebook, but I've literally no idea what I'm doing. So, okay. I've got the Daily Mirror here.
Right.
I've got the Daily Mirror here. We've got to look, see what test duties.
How would Terry Wogan say that?
He'd probably say something like, well, I've got the Daily Mirror here. I'm just going to take a little look.
You make him sound like Idris Elba.
No.
No.
Idris Elba does not sound like that. He sounds more geezer.
All right. I'm Idris Elba.
Yeah, that's more like it.
And I've got a part in a brand new series. I play a detective, a black detective. It's irrelevant, but...
It is irrelevant.
It is irrelevant. But I play a detective and I solve crimes, and sometimes I get really angry. But then I go home and make love to my wife.
Doesn't. His wife's left him.
New series. Why are you pigeonholing him into that series?
Because he's a flawed character. I watched the whole thing. He's never going to get married.
He's got a new series of different detective called Dr. Duck.
Oh.
Yeah, you weren't expecting that. So, pick a page, any page, and we're going to get Radio Gold.
14.
Why did you think about it?
Because I was channeling my powers.
All right, let's have a look. Page 14. OK, fine. All right, well, that's an advert for the lottery. So let's try again.
That was good.
Yeah, let's try again.
15.
Oh, there we go. Let's applaud Cristiano Ronaldo for being a loving dad. Why not? Let's celebrate the rich multimillionaire dads who can afford shed loads of nannies. I'm not sure if it was Super Nanny who did. Do you remember Super Nanny?
Yeah,
I once saw her walking through Los Angeles. Yes, she was in Los Angeles. I was in Los Angeles. It was the kind of life I lived back in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Did she tell you that you were not acceptable?
She didn't speak to me.
Oh.
I was in a car. She was walking in Los Angeles. Are you nuts, woman? She could do with a bit of exercise.
Yowza.
I bet she has got one of those boxes under the bed.
Of?
Toys. Do you know what I mean? Strict. Very strict. I'm not
Got
sure...
a telescope under my bed. It says it all.
Dear.
And the guitar from Guitar Hero.
Okay. Get rid of those. You'll never use those
They're
again.
my toys.
They're gone. I'm not sure. This is a comment feature by Alison Phillips, who's the columnist and weekend editor of The Mirror. I'm not sure if it was Super Nanny who did it, but somehow we became a nation obsessed with how other people bring up their children. Well, we always have been. It's to do with Super Nanny.
It's called judging.
What that is, that's a lazy in.
Yeah.
She's done whenever you're writing a piece, you've got to do an in. You've got to somehow slide the reader into it. You know what where you're going. Got to slide the reader into it.
Alison, don't speak for me. You don't know me.
Well, but actually, there's only one question to be considered. Is the child loved? There are millions of unloved, unwanted and undervalued children for us to turn our attention to before we begin asking if Ronaldo is doing the right thing.
There's the wrong kind of love, though, isn't there? So she's, again, generalising.
But his son is called Cristiano Jr.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not surprised.
Well, why is it? Is his mum's died, is it? Is that...
No.
Where's the mum?
I don't think they're together anymore.
Oh, that's Ronaldo's mum. I thought, blimey, she's you picked a really poor page. Actually, let's play it with your mail. Go on, you pick a page.
You pick a page.
12. 8. No, odd page. 7. 7.
Nothing funny there. Nothing funny at all.
Okay.
We've either got a terrible baby death or Bloody Sunday. I think we best steer clear.
Okay, let's go to page 12.
Page 12. HRT advice is biased and misleading, says Oxford professor.
Here we go.
Here's something. Wogan too ill for children in need.
Well, I'm back. I hurt my back. Well, luckily, hurt my back. Luckily, Tess is here to give me a rub down.
And how would Wogan say that?
Wogan was saying it.
I don't think, to be honest.
I've got a crop.
Wogan was saying it.
Wogan was saying what?
Why is he?
It sounds like a dog.
Yeah, it's a good. You know that is good. Your connection the connection isn't strong enough to broadcast live. Well, I put my back out. My back's been put out, and I would like to see. Oh, Tess, you give me up. Oh, yeah.
Let's see what the judges have to say.
I've hurt my back, and it looks like I'll need some help from one of my colleagues.
He's getting on my nerves.
You're jealous.
Him's getting on my nerves. That guy there. So, okay. Well, so we won't. You find a funny story, and I'll find
a funny story. A funny story.
And I'll find
I'll have a look in the current bun. That's always a bag of laughs.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. Straight away. Page 3. They're still doing that silly thing with the number 3. Oh well.
To make them look like boobies.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what the idea is. I mean, it looks like a bum as well. I don't see no bums. A Premier League footballer had car keys down his pants. Oh no, hid car keys down his pants to dodge a drink driving arrest. Oh dear.
Oh.
Not so funny.
I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a song, right, from... This is the Beach Boys... people love this album. I hate it, personally.
Why?
Because, well...
To be different? Because you like their early stuff?
No. All right, well, this is Beach Boys 1977. I won't play this song, but this...
To the planet's me.
Oh.
And have you ever seen sunrise in the morning? It shines
Right, this is the level of Brian
That
Wilson's
stinks.
songwriting at the time. Beach Boys love you. People love it. It's an awful.
It's poo-poo.
It's an awful record. Let's try. There's one song though. Hang on. Hang on.
You're still a baby.
Oh dear.
Now I'm going to play one song, and you're going to hate it, but actually it's brilliant, and you're wrong to hate it. Just quickly listen to this. This is him singing about Johnny Carson. This is when he'd been in bed for 3 years. Okay, so he's singing about the television host Johnny Carson.
He sits behind his microphone.
Literally describing what happens on the Johnny Carson show. This is an album.
These days it'd be Jeremy Kyle, wouldn't it?
In such a manly tone.
Oh.
Johnny Carson. Here we go. Ed McMahon comes on and says, "Here's Johnny." What's he gonna rhyme with Johnny? What's he gonna rhyme with Johnny? Every night. Every night at 11:30, he's so funny. But this is actually, this is a rip-off of Phil Spector, and this is a brilliant song.
Come to me. Give me some loving. Tell me you want it. Listen, my Mona. How's about an 8 o'clock dinner? How's about a 9 o'clock movie? Wanna be groovy. Put your loving arms around me. Aren't you glad that you found me? Do you like fine wine now? Don't it taste fine now? Can't you just hear it? Rockin' roll music. Get it that beat now. Does it feel neat now? Will you just kiss me? When you leave me, don't you just miss me? Could we get married? Nothing, we're gonna steady. Disco, discotheque, mama. Show me the boogie. Start a little dance now. Take a little chance now. Come on, listen to the rock now. Listen to me, my baby. I know you're gonna love this better. Mona, come to me.
And focus. I've been playing around with technology. You can watch us on facebook.com/Iain Lee if you wanted to. Don't tell the BBC. They'll be scared. They'll be scared. They'll disapprove. So, what have we got this morning? Not a lot, it would turn out. Very, very little content this morning. Very little content, and that's fine. Do you know what? Sometimes that's fine. The reason I'm slightly distracted is we know that Terry Wogan has
pulled out.
He's pulled out a Pudsey. There's a Pudsey upstairs. Why does he have an eye patch?
Well, because he's in need.
But in need of what? He's in need of something. Why does he wear an eye patch? What the hell? What has he been doing? What's been waggling in Pudsey's face that's poked an eye out? And I think we can say it's not like Father Christmas. Hey, I looked at, you get those 3 nights away in Lapland and you get to meet Father Christmas.
Yeah, I really want to do that.
I'd like to do it. I was looking at them
I'd have to
yesterday.
take kids, do I?
Well, you couldn't afford to take the kids.
It's really expensive.
It's like $1,000 each. $1,000.
But you only do it once.
Well, I know exactly. I'm kind of thinking, do you know what, we can't because of the dog and stuff, and I'm kind of thinking next year is probably the last year it's going to be worth doing it, so maybe I'll save up for next year. But it's the cheapest one was, well, I could see, was £800 each for 3 nights. Yowzers! I mean, really?
But I've heard it's amazing.
I did it for 1 night once. Was it a night or was it a day? Maybe it was a night. When I was at LBC, we were allowed to take freebies. Beautiful freebie. Me and Chris, my producer, went. We went for
to see Father Christmas.
Yeah.
Right.
What?
That's normal.
We went sledding. We went to see Father Christmas and everything. It was all. What do you mean? Why would that? First of all, it was free.
Yeah.
Secondly, it was Father Christmas.
You sit on his lap.
Didn't sit on his lap.
Didn't get the full experience then, did you?
No, well, you're not allowed to get the full experience these days.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Busy on the M1 into London around Junction 9 for Redbourne, and it's also slow on the M25 anti-clockwise between Junction 21 for the M1 and 19 for Watford. In St Albans on the North Albury Road, there's a lane closed in both directions between the Park Street roundabout and the London Coney roundabout, so expect that to get busy later on, but it's not looking too bad so far. On the A1, there are queues building up southbound between the Holiday Inn and Barnet Lane at the Stirling Corner, and on the trains, Virgin Trains West Coast have 10-minute delays between London Euston and Glasgow Central, so it is affecting trains through Watford Junction and Milton Keynes Central. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Sammy, thank you very much indeed. 6:45, these are your headlines on BBC. 6:46! Three Counties Radio. The US military has carried out a drone strike targeting the Islamic State militant known as Jihadi John. The parents of a Hemel Hempstead teenager who came off his moped and was left paralysed say they're facing a battle to secure specialist treatment for him. And the boss of the Milton Keynes Red Bull team said something that nobody really cares about.
Beds, Hearts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Good morning to you. It's going to feel an awful lot colder today than it has done so far this week, when of course it was very mild. But today, very different sort of day, feeling a lot more like November, with temperatures back down now to the seasonal average. So quite a chilly start, but it's a dry, bright start. We'll see some sunshine around through the morning as well, and then after in the next couple of hours or so, we'll start to get this band of really quite squally showers come in from the west. That's going to track through some strong gusts of wind on that for a time, possibly gusting as high as up to 40 to 50 miles an hour maybe, and some rather heavy bursts of rain as well. So not completely dry. There will be some wet weather around at times, but then drier again as we head into the afternoon. There'll be some spells of sunshine, the odd isolated shower here and there, staying quite blustery throughout with a very strong westerly wind. And top temperatures today only up to around 10 or 11 degrees Celsius, so a lot cooler than it has been of late, and feeling so as well. Overnight tonight there'll be the odd isolated shower here and there, but lots of clear skies. Temperatures right down to around 5 or 6 degrees Celsius even in some of the towns. So a chilly start to the weekend, but the weekend is going to turn rather an awful lot milder once more. So we're back to those grey skies, the rather blustery weather, and the outbreaks of rain, particularly so on Saturday. Actually, it looks like quite a wet day, on and off the rain through the afternoon and into much of the evening too, but temperatures slowly coming up. We'll be back up to 14 degrees Celsius by the time we get to Saturday, maybe a degree or so higher by the time we get to Sunday. But Sunday, the dry day, still some outbreaks of drizzle and looking rather grey and windy. That's the forecast.
This afternoon, everything is going to get a little bit sparkly. I'll be live from Elstree Studios as the cast of Strictly Come Dancing get ready for Children in Need.
You embraced the character, you became somebody else.
We'll bring you exclusives from behind the scenes and find out everything that happens on one of the nation's favourite shows.
I was totally transported into your romantic love story. You took me straight there.
So join me, Roberta Peroni, live from Elstree Studios for Strictly and Children in Need, today from 3 here on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Geezer, good morning.
Morning, Deals. Quick, give me a newspaper and we'll find something.
Boss, you know what? I'm very excited.
What's wrong, buddy?
What's wrong? No, nothing is wrong.
Oh.
I've got some breaking news.
Oh, go on. What's this?
Well, it's about my show, but just bear with me here, okay?
Yeah.
You know, I've got this feature called the Geezer's Chair. We put famous geezers in my chair, and they answer questions about being a geezer.
Yeah.
Just been confirmed in the last few hours that Danny Dyer is going to be in my Geezer's Chair next weekend.
Professional geezer.
Yep, absolutely. The man who has put the G into geezer.
Danny Dyer.
You don't seem very excited. I thought this was big news. I thought this was going to put me on the radio map.
Well.
Oh.
Danny Dyer, you say?
Yeah.
He's an old friend of yours, isn't he?
He's a nice lad. I met Danny years ago. He's a nice lad. That'd be excellent, Just. He's good fun. He's good fun.
Oh,
no,
thanks,
he's good
mate.
fun. No, I met him, when we were doing the 11 o'clock show, him and John Sim came on, and, he's a nice bloke. I don't watch TV now. He's in EastEnders now, isn't it?
He is, yeah.
Big star. What the hell is going on in EastEnders?
I don't know. I haven't seen it for ages.
All I know about EastEnders is when I go into the petrol station on the way home to buy myself a pasty, and here's one thing, guys, right? You know, in petrol stations, you got the little pasty heating things, right? if you've got like a column for cheese and onion pasties, put cheese and onion pasties in there. Don't put beef pasties in there.
Oh, a trick.
So I ate it, but I was chewing like a brown pasty instead of a pale light one, and so I was disappointed.
It must have hurt you.
It offended me.
What if you'd been a vegetarian? What if that?
I could see there was a little bit of darkness oozing out, so I went with it. But here's the thing, right? All I know about EastEnders is when I'm waiting for my Costa drink to be poured from the machine, and never look inside those machines. It will put you off life. They're filthy. There is like TV Chat magazine is the kind of the line of vision. Grant is back.
Yes, Grant.
But then it says Grant. It's written in such bad English. Yes, please go and say thank you. Grant is back to kill Phil, to make love to Sharon.
Oh.
Or to save somebody else. That's it.
It's a bit strange. I didn't know that magazines could speak in Welsh.
No, I know. Honestly, it's it looks like such a tedious show.
But that's what people love. But a bit of escapism, you know.
Oh, here we go. This is a great story. I've just found this. Literally looking through the papers now. Right, cabbies are getting a rough ride at the moment. Pun intended. Pintended. Baby born in my cab. That's £100.
Oh, no.
A dad has told how he was badgered for cash.
Badgered.
By a taxi driver.
Badgered, though.
While trying to... And this is where they try and make it emotive, all right? While trying to save the life of his new baby who'd just been born on the back seat. Matthew Errington's partner, Karolina Dubrovska, gave birth on the way to hospital with the umbilical, and I will refuse to say umbilical because I'm not a pervert. The umbilical cord had become dangerously snared around the newborn's neck. The taxi stopped outside a hotel. Matthew rang 999 while dashing in, hoping to find a doctor. One returned with him, but as they fought together to save son Sebastian, there's a picture of the baby. The baby's fine.
Is it cute?
The driver demanded money to clean up. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah, you do make an awful mess.
Well, here's the thing they don't tell you, Justin,
I ruined
right?
a pair of slippers.
Here's the thing they don't tell you. Quite often, when a woman has a baby, she poos herself.
Oh.
Yep.
Because of the pushing. Apparently, they can't separate the push. It's just a downward push.
The moment that you're pushing the baby out feels an awful lot like you want to pass a motion, right? And sometimes it's because you are passing a motion.
Matthew, 43, said, I said my son wasn't breathing and to leave me alone. The doctor saved his life and we got my son breathing. And the driver was still asking for money. Well, that's the point the driver should be asking for money. The doctor saved his life and we got my son breathing and the driver was still asking for money. Good.
Wouldn't your thought be, I need to sort that taxi out?
Matthew from Peckham, South London, said the £40 fare, paid the £40 fare. Oh, flipping heck. This guy's I'm totally on the cabbie side here. Again, paid the £40 fare and did not even consider a fouling charge of up to £100.
Fouling, though.
Before joining his wife and child in an ambulance. He added, the driver then started banging on the ambulance doors, saying to get out and clean the taxi. Oh, fair play. It is... Go
on.
It's Addison Lee.
But...
Yeah.
It does make a hell mess.
It does make a hell mess, and I think I'm with the cabbie on this. I'm totally with the cabbie.
It's the first-time dads and first-time mums think what they've done is, and it is a miracle. It's a beautiful moment. But you know what? To everyone else, it's just a hell mess.
Yeah, it's a hell mess. Hey, Dealey, here's who you need to get on your show.
Go on.
Jeff Lynne.
Jeff Lynne.
Jeff Lynne,
back. I know, he's back. Fantastic beard. He's still got it, hasn't he?
He's
beard.
I mean, he ruined the Beatles and anything George Harrison recorded. He tries too hard, but
he's a legend. Come on.
Oh yeah. Other than that, ELO were all right. ELO were all right.
He's a top geezer. So this morning, are you after a taxi perspective, a taxi driver's perspective?
I feel I'm struggling because there's not a lot else in, and I know we've done that very, very recently.
Or we can go onto the streets. Yeah, we can go on the streets and look for Terry Wogan replacements.
I feel we're playing into their hands a little bit by doing that.
Into Terry's hands.
I feel like he's done it for a publicity stunt.
Oh, is that what you're suggesting? We're talking about children in need when normally we wouldn't bother. And also, I don't want anyone else to do it. I want the gig.
All right, fair enough. Okay, yep, that's fair enough.
I just kind of think...
What if everyone in the street suggested Iain Lee? I mean, that could happen, couldn't it, Justin?
Yeah, potentially. We can make the streets say what we want, really, in all honesty.
A married couple visiting Mexico for their daughter's wedding have been found dead after having sex in a hotel hot tub.
Crikey.
Charles Mackenzie, 67, and his wife Dorothy were in their room's whirlpool when he had a heart attack. The weight of Mr. Mackenzie's body is said to have trapped his 63-year-old wife, who flipping heck.
What a way to go.
What a way to go. Flipping heck. Of all the ways to go, that way. Jeez. I don't know. I don't want to do Children in Need. I really don't want to do Children in Need. BBC not on top of my good list at the moment, so no. Dealey, we'll think about it. We'll come up with something. Don't worry.
Brian.
Don't you
no
worry,
problem.
boss. We'll come up with something. 03459 455 555 is their telephone number. There we go. OK, we found a story. There's a story on the front page of the Mail. Older men make much better lovers. So, dear listener, the question is, how old would you go?
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The M1 southbound is slow from junction 10 for Luton Airport towards junction 9 for Redbourne, and the M25 is busy anti-clockwise between junction 21 for the M1 and 19 for Watford. In Borehamwood on the A1 there are queues southbound from the Holiday Inn towards the Stirling Corner, and in Great Missenden on the Link Road there's roadworks going on at the junction for the A413, so that could get busy later on. On the trains, the 717 service from Milton Keynes Central to London Euston has been cancelled. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Sammy, thank you very much indeed. 03459 455 555. How old would you go? And is it different? I think younger men and older women is different from younger women and older men somehow, but I don't quite know how. We'll think about it.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 7 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: US drone strike targets jihadi John. Hemel parents face battle to get treatment for teenage son. And Milton Keynes team to stay in Formula One.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The US military has carried out a drone strike targeting the Islamic State militant known as Jihadi John. The drone attacked a vehicle transporting Mohammed Emwazi in Syria. The extremist, who's been identified as a British man, appeared in several videos showing Western hostages being beheaded, as Laura Bicker in Washington explains.
You may remember some of the awful clips that were circulating on the internet. This was a man masked, dressed all in black in a video where the American journalist James Foley is murdered. He's also thought to be involved in the murders of British aid workers David Haines, Alan Henning, the Japanese journalist Kenji Goto.
The parents of a Hemel Hempstead teenager who came off his moped and was left paralysed say they're facing a battle to secure specialist treatment for him. 15-year-old Christian Lee Thompson suffered serious head injuries in the incident on the disused Nicky railway line in July. One man has been arrested and 2 police officers are under investigation. Matt Lockwood has more.
Christian Lee had to have surgery on his skull and was in a coma for 2.5 weeks following the accident. His parents say they had secured a place for Christian Lee at a rehabilitation centre in Surrey run by the Children's Trust, but the charity has since said they cannot meet his complex needs. The circumstances surrounding how the teenager sustained his injuries are being investigated by Herts Police and the Independent Police Complaints Commission.
A meeting is taking place today in Luton into the ongoing housing crisis in the town and surrounding areas. Local authorities from Bedfordshire and Hertfordshire are meeting with London borough councils, which continue to place their homeless population in the region. The government's considering whether to restrict access by some British people to in-work benefits so it can legally stop EU migrants from receiving them too. David Cameron has said he wants migrants to wait 4 years before they qualify. Sir Terry Wogan's been forced to pull out of presenting tonight's Children in Need because of back problems. More from Colin Patterson.
Terry Wogan hosted the very first Children in Need back in 1980, and he's done every one since. That is 35 years in a row. We believe it's because of procedure he's having on his back. His doctor has said he is simply not up to hosting a TV show which starts at 7:30 in the evening and doesn't finish until 2 in the morning.
In sport, the boss of the Milton Keynes Red Bull team says they will race in Formula One next season after months of threatening to quit the sport in a row over a new engine. Christian Horner's comments also safeguard hundreds of jobs at the team's Tilbrook base in Milton Keynes.
We've entered the World Championship and I believe we're very close to concluding what direction we're going to be heading power unit wise for 2016.
The weather windy with squally showers and feeling colder, a maximum temperature 10 degrees Celsius. And you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Thank you, Simon. I've just been into the office. Did you know, Catherine, that Paul Scoins thinks he can do a Terry Wogan impression?
I heard the beginning of that conversation as I walked away.
It's nowhere near as good as mine, which goes like this. Well, here's Deadly with the balls.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Admittedly, I just stole the words that he said, but that's...
Can you say that, Danny?
Can I say what, sorry? I don't
Here's
understand.
Deadly with the balls. Just say it.
And now, here's Deadly with the balls.
You see, what he's doing, though,
good.
he's not...
Oh,
he might
so
be able to
good.
do the... He might be able to get the
voice,
the
yeah.
voice, but he can't spontaneously think. That your mic's off, mate, you see? You see, and you haven't got the powers I've got. Your mic's on now?
Well,
it's off.
Oh.
It's on.
Hello.
Off. On.
Shake.
Yeah, there we go, you see. So, the woman who says much older men make the best lovers, pages 22 and 23 of the Daily Mail. I mean, oh dear. One of the reasons is they get speedy service in restaurants, guys. Come on. How old would you go? 03 459 455 555.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Any texts, Catherine, before we continue s'il vous plaît?
Mark in Bletchley
Morning, Mark.
liked the He's a Rebel. Is it a 45 single? No, it's not. It's from my album Phil Spector, Echoes of the 60s.
Okay.
And John says Ian's Wogan sounds, well,
So it sounds like Mr. Patel. Oh, it doesn't at all. I don't know who Mr. Patel is, but it doesn't sound like him. It sounds like working. I've left my cough out there. Please, could someone bring it in? I know, seriously. Oh, don't go. 03459 455 555. Now, the parents of a teenager left paralysed after a moped accident in Hemel are fighting for the specialist rehabilitation that he needs. 61-year-old man was arrested and bailed for allegedly knocking 15-year-old Christian Lee Thompson off his bike as he rode along the area known as the Nicky Line on July the 16th. The IPCC are looking into the actions of 2 police officers who attended the scene. Meanwhile, Christian Lee is being treated at the Royal London Hospital. His dad, Stephen, joins me now. Morning, Stephen.
Morning.
When did you find out that Christian Lee had been injured?
At 4 o'clock on the 16th of July.
And what happened? Was it a phone call? Was it a knock at the door?
Yeah, it was a phone call from Christian Lee's mum.
Must have been, as a dad of 2 young boys, significantly younger than 15. But it's that phone call, I guess, that none of us ever want to get. It must have been a very upsetting moment.
Words can't explain. There's no words what can explain how you feel.
Yeah. What was he like before the accident? What kind of lad was he?
He was adventurous, fun-loving, caring, a typical 15-year-old boy.
Mm. How's he doing now? How has the accident affected him?
He's hemiplegic. I mean, he's paralysed down his left-hand side. He can't speak. He can do anything he can do is actually move his right-hand side of his body. You can't explain how he is. There's not words to say how he acts or what he does, what he can't do. He's just like my son laying there. I can see my son, but just totally devastated by the condition he's in.
Yeah, of course. And what treatment is he getting at the hospital?
At the moment, nothing, because he's not a medical patient now. He's had a new skull put in, a plastic skull. The hospital just caring for his daily needs, is changing him, hoisting him out of bed into a chair. And that's all they can do. There's nothing they can do medically for him no more. He's a rehab patient, a neuro rehab patient.
And the rehab is the problem, isn't it? You're getting, 7 hours a week, is that right?
Yeah, about 7 hours a week. It's an acute hospital. It's not designed for neuro rehab patients. The Royal London Hospital doesn't have a neuro rehab board or a paediatric neuro doctor or specialised nurses.
And there are some places where he could go that does have that specialist team and equipment, and he could get what? He could get about 7 hours a day rehab. Is that right?
If not more, yeah. And there's only a few places in the country for children. There's a lot for adults, very few for children. NHS have hardly got anything. The Children's Trust is a charity where the NHS pay for children to go there. And that is one of the best in the country. Sadly enough, they're not taking him now.
Oh, dear, blimey. They kind of hinted that they would, and then they've said that actually they can't. Is that right? I've got a statement from the Children's Trust. Let's read this. Before coming to the Children's Trust, all children undergo an assessment to ensure that intensive rehabilitation is suitable for the child and that we are the right place to be able to fully meet their needs. We've assessed Christian Lee on 2 occasions, and more recently our assessment team determined that we are not currently able to meet his individual needs and therefore not a suitable option for his rehabilitation.
It wasn't a hint that he was going there. We were told,
right.
We got a letter stating that he will be there. Funding was put in place for him to go there. He was meant to go there end of September, October time. They came and done an assessment 3 weeks ago on Christian Lee again to see where he was now. I haven't been informed officially by a letter by him. They haven't even wrote to us. We were told by the hospital staff. Everyone seems to think, including the hospital staff, we had him reassessed yesterday again. And even the people who reassessed him yesterday said the best place for him would be the Children's Trust. It comes across to us and many other people that the Children's Trust can cherry pick what type of patients they want to sell a good luck story to the media because they are charity based.
Well, I can understand why you might think like that, but personally, I don't think that's what the Children's Trust are necessarily doing. You know, they have got limited resources, and they do have to focus where they think they can focus. But I can understand why you think like that. Of course, I can. And I've got to say this, and I feel really uncomfortable saying this, but there will be some people, Stephen, thinking this. So I've got to say it. He was riding a moped when he shouldn't have been, where he shouldn't have been riding a moped. Now, let's put the specifics of the incident to one side, because, you know, there is a legal investigation going on and police officers being investigated and what have you. He was riding a bike where he shouldn't have ridden the bike.
Yeah, that's correct, he was. And he shouldn't have been riding the bike there. But if you go up there most days of the week in the evening time, you'll see loads of children riding up and down on their moped.
Yeah.
It's a place where the children all go, because there is nothing where we live for children. It's a 15-year-old teenager who was riding a moped. Yeah, he was silly to do that. He's paid an horrendous price for what he's done.
And yeah.
But, you know, what he done was wrong, but what someone putting their arm out and knocking him off his motorbike is
you understand why we can't go into the specifics of what may or may not happen because of the investigation. Stephen, I wish you and Christian Lee and your family the very best of luck, and I hope that he gets the treatment that he deserves, and that that things will turn out as well as they can in this situation.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you, mate.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Do you know what? I'm going to read the statements. I don't normally read the statements, but I think they're interesting. They may or may not shed some light on what may or may not have happened. The IPCC are investigating 2 police officers, and they say the actions of Hertfordshire police officers who responded to an incident in which a 15-year-old boy suffered serious injuries after an altercation on a moped is ongoing. The 2 officers who attended the incident have been served with notices informing them they are under investigation, and criminal interviews concerning allegations of assault will be conducted in the near future. And Detective Inspector Pete Frost from Herts Police said, "Our thoughts remain with Christian Lee and his family at this difficult time. The 61-year-old man who was arrested following the incident remains on bail. Anyone with information about the incident can still contact police on the non-emergency number 101. Now, it would, and I felt terrible even asking him about, his son was twitting around on a moped where he shouldn't have been riding. I know it's kind of it's kind of a thing that we've covered on this show before. But no one would wish a 15-year-old kid to get injuries like that. It's very easy to say, well, it's his fault. Kind of, to a certain extent, I suppose it is his fault. He shouldn't have been there, and he shouldn't have been doing that, and all of that to one side. No one would wish that kid's life is screwed. Yeah? That family's life has shifted, irrevocably. And no one would wish that to happen to anybody, not even their worst enemy, to end up like that. I just think it's horrible. And I had to ask him about, and in fact he said, well, other kids do it. It doesn't make it right. Of course, it doesn't make it right. But it's easy to say, these bloody kids that get what they deserve. No one deserves that. No one deserves that. Right, 03459 455 555 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. 81333. Start your text 3CR. Where have I put my papers? Are all over the shop today. I've got no idea. Oh, here we go. So this woman who says that significantly. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. What the hell is going on in Australia? Have you seen this?
What?
Arse rage. What is it about Prince Charles and the women of Australia? They just can't keep their hands off him, it seems. Talk about older men, right? At a meeting in Sydney yesterday, the boss of one of his charitable initiatives appeared to place her hand firmly and rather over-familiarly on the future king's backside. She is touching his bottom. Janine Kirk, chief executive of the Prince's Charities Australia, seemed to break with protocol as she introduced the heir to guests. Aides have always been clear that touching should be restricted to a handshake or even a kiss. It should be initiated by the royals themselves, so I'm making up my own jokes in my head that I can't say. But Miss Kirk last night blamed the apparent faux pas on a funny camera angle. As if I would touch his bum. It's just ridiculous.
Is that Terry Wogan you're doing that?
Oh, for goodness sakes. It came 36 years after bikini-clad model Jane Priest famously stole a kiss from Charles on a beach in Perth.
That's not the famous one.
36 years after!
The famous one is when Jerry Halliwell stuck the lips on him.
Former Australian... Well, they do that in Australia. They're very touchy-feely in Australia.
They're not that touchy-feely, though. She wouldn't touch his backside, would she?
Oh, you would. You would. I nearly touched...
I wouldn't.
Of course you would.
Not
I
Prince
would.
Charles's.
I would.
Would you?
Of course I would.
Prince Charles's, though.
I came yay close to touching Christina Aguilera's bum.
Well...
Yeah? She was backing onto me.
Well, then.
And I, being a gentleman...
That's no defence in a court of law.
I think it is.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M1 southbound, it's very busy from junction 10 for Luton Airport to 9 for Redbourne, and on the North Orbital Road at the M25 junction 21A roundabout, it's looking quite slow too. And the M25 is busy anti-clockwise from junction 17 for Maple Cross to 16 for the M40. On Bramham Road in Biddenham, there's roadworks going eastbound between the A428 at the Branston Way and Paula Radcliffe Way, so expect some queues, but it's not looking too bad at the moment. And Virgin Trains West Coast have 10-minute delays between London Euston and Glasgow Central, so that is affecting trains through Watford Junction and Milton Keynes Central. Samantha Burr, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Sammy, thank you very much indeed. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio at 16 minutes past 7 on a Friday morning. The US military has carried out a drone strike targeting the Islamic State militant known as... Now, what's this... I hate saying this, Jihadi John. So what is Mohammed... Is it Mohammed Emwazi?
Emwazi, yeah.
It's Emwazi, isn't it? Okay. Well, I'm going to use that from now because I find that phrase abhorrent. The US military has carried out a drone strike targeting the Islamic militant Mohammed Emwazi. The parents of a Hemel Hempstead teenager who came off his moped and was left paralysed say they're facing a battle to secure specialist treatment for him. And the boss of Milton Keynes' Red Bull team says they will race in Formula One next season, safeguarding hundreds of jobs at the team's Tilbrook base.
Three Counties Sport.
Tomorrow, Luton.
Benson, right edge of the penalty area, gets the cross in towards McCoy.
And Stevenage.
It's with Pett inside the area, turns it back.
Return to league action after success in the FA Cup.
Oh, it'll come to McCoy, and he scored again. And McCoy in the right place at the right time.
And we'll bring you live commentary on both games in Three Counties Sport.
Shot from Schumacher, that finds the net, bottom left-hand corner.
Tomorrow from 2, here on BBC Three Counties Radio.
This is Iain Lee.
On BBC Three Counties Radio.
Of course, tomorrow at 12, it's me and Catherine Boyle as we go live down the rabbit hole, although we're gradually starting to ditch that because we're not... no one else at the BBC is promoting that name down the rabbit hole.
Well, so I like it.
Iain Lee and Catherine Boyle, if you want to find us on the iPlayer, every Saturday, 12 till 2. I say every Saturday. It's this Saturday, it's not the Saturday after because of a football match.
Yeah, some sports.
I still get paid. I
I
probably don't. The BBC pays me in a very odd way. I get paid the same amount each month, and then they work out how many days I've had off.
In magic beans.
Magic beans! I've got some magic beans. Oh, I'd love some magic beans right now. Jeremy Corbyn, what's the song?
He's coming to town.
How would your daughter, if your daughter was to sing Jeremy Corbyn was coming to town, all of her songs about people coming to town?
Yes. The Easter Bunny and Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus is the Christmas one.
Yeah.
Jeremy Corbyn is coming to town.
No.
What, Massive Jeremy?
Yes. This is how she would do it. Do it properly. Give her the respect. Give your daughter's songwriting talents the respect she deserves. Stop doing a Beach Boys and Charles Manson and changing the lyrics.
This is the adaptation from Massive Jesus is Coming from Town, which of course is a Christmas hit. Massive Jeremy's coming to town. Massive Jeremy's coming to town.
And that town is Stevenage. His first visit there as a leader of the Labour Party. He's speaking at the party's conference. We just did that, yeah, I know. It's a target seat for Labour. It used to hold the town and then it lost it. Well, 80-year-old George Filer from Stevenage was a Labour member for decades until Blair took charge in the 90s, who he says sold Labour out.
I never liked the man. He was too smarmy, in my words, in my opinion. I did not like the name New Labour. They are not a socialist party. But I still voted Labour just to keep all the other parties out. But what I do like about Corbyn is going to bring back in help to public ownership of railways, council house buildings, build up the civil service to collect taxes. That's the best I can do.
Someone give that man some teeth, bless him. David Arloff is from Stevenage. He's a retired bricklayer. He's one of George's mates. You left the party for the same reason as George, didn't you, David?
I did, yes.
So when was it? At what point in Tony Blair's premiership did you go, nah, this isn't Labour, this isn't for us?
Well, I stopped voting for Labour when I think the final straw was when they wanted to lock people up without charge or trial for 90 days. I think that was the final straw. We'd had illegal wars and everything else, and enough was enough. I couldn't vote Labour anymore. They'd moved to the right of the Tory party. But since Jeremy Corbyn's come back, I've come back.
Did Miliband not get you feeling they'd gone a little bit... This is where the sentence ends. A little bit lefter?
Yes, but not enough. I mean, the trouble is, and it's still true today, the party is in the hands of this party within a party called Progress. And as Neil Kinnock said, you can't have a party within a party. And, while they keep on saying, we're going to be deselected, please don't deselect us, then they keep on carrying out policies and actions which really make people think, well, we're going to have to deselect you.
How easy was it for you to become a member again?
It took a bit of effort because, like George Filer, we sent off our cheques for £3 and they sent them back.
That is incredible, isn't it? Yeah.
I then phoned up the Labour Party and said I'd like to make a donation of £100. I'll send you a cheque. And they said, lovely. And I said, oh, I can't do that. And they said, why not? I said, well, you don't accept cheques, do you? Anyway, so then I did it online, or rather my daughter did it online for me.
The thing about the cheque, I mean, listen, I've got to write a cheque. I've got no idea where my chequebook is, and it's a dying thing. But how much effort?
My generation.
No, exactly. And how much effort is it for an intern or anybody on their way home to pop into Barclays and pay in a few cheques? It's a minor inconvenience, isn't it?
There you go. It's not difficult. It's not rocket science, is it?
Corbyn's not going to get anywhere, though, is he? There are too many people within the press and within the party itself who've got their knives out for it. They're all waiting for him to fail.
They are, indeed. The problem is this.
Yeah?
I've just looking at an email I received from our party secretary, and it's a long email telling us all about everything that's going on. And the final line is this. I'll read it to you.
Yeah.
Finally, there will be a social gathering of new and existing members in the near future, and you should have heard from Jeanette Thomas. She's the local party membership secretary about this already. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. Regards, Sherma. That's Sherma Batson.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is, no one got notified.
Of course they did.
Now, Bedwell, which used to be the heartbeat of the local Labour Party, even the councillors there didn't know about this meeting that took place last Saturday. And out of the, 200 or 300 new members, only George turned up from Bedwell, and he only turned up because I told him about the meeting. So they're keeping people out of the loop, if you like. And that's just not on. I don't want to make any names, no pack drill.
The thing is, right, maybe it was, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe it was an oversight, but when you've got the front page of newspapers, right, British newspapers, the most widely read newspapers in the country saying, Jeremy Corbyn has got no respect for the war dead, he didn't bow at the cenotaph. When you got stories like that are clearly nonsense, because if you watch the clip, he dipped his head, he was respectful, of course he was. You know, when you've got people watching him to see whether he's going to kneel in front of the Queen or not, as opposed to listening to what he's saying about housing and nuclear weapons, and no one can beat that, can they?
Well, we knew we'd have to fight the press. I mean, I remember when, and you possibly do, or maybe you don't, but when Michael Foot went to Leia Reese and he had a donkey jacket on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look, he's got a donkey jacket on. Has it got Wimpy's on there, or has it got McAlpines? You know, we knew we'd have to fight all that sort of nonsense, and it is nonsense. You know, the fact is he went. I mean, I'm anti-war, always have been. But I've walked. I used to push a friend of mine who was a retired captain in a wheelchair. 15 times I took him, you know, from Horse Guards Parade past the Cenotaph with his little diminishing band of brothers. So, you know, we can all respect what everyone's done for us in the past, and we all, you know, we all do respect those heroes who fought for us.
David, you're going to go and see Corbyn when he comes down. You're going to go and say hello, shake his hand, give him a pat on the back.
I'm not, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Reason is they've chosen the Holiday Inn.
Oh.
It's got a capacity of 250.
Yeah.
So I can't get in.
Oh.
Plus the fact it's £65 for a ticket.
Flip it. 60. There's the story. It's 65 quid a ticket?
Yeah. £45 for a lunch.
What?
So that excludes all pensioners.
Hang on a minute. Scoins. The BBC Three Counties political correspondent, Paul Scoins, is dashing it. Is this correct, Paul? Put some headphones on so you can hear David. Is that correct?
Well, I didn't realise it was that expensive, David. That's astonishing.
So hang on, 65 quid a ticket. Do you get the lunch for that, or is the lunch another 45 quid?
The lunch is on top. It's optional. It's on top if you want the lunch.
110 quid. Blimey.
What lunch are you getting for that? I'm hoping it's caviar.
Well, I don't know. I'd want cordon bleu. I'd want Michel Roux.
The Holiday Inn. They made it serve excellent breakfast, but
it's not exactly beer and sandwiches, though, is it?
Well, yeah. This is. You kind of think with the Labour Party pot. I know it's old-fashioned, but you do think, yeah, it's going to be a load of sandwiches. When they're gone, that's it. That's your lot. You're done.
I suppose this is progress, isn't it?
Well, David, listen, it's been nice talking to you, mate. Thanks very much for your time.
All I wanted to make the point is it excludes pensioners.
Yep.
It excludes the unemployed.
It excludes the unemployed and the average working person. I couldn't afford 110 quid for.
There you go.
Yeah. David, thank you, mate. I appreciate that. 65 quid plus a 45 quid lunch on top.
That's steep, isn't it?
Can we double check that, Paul? Because we're the BBC and we're not like Sky. We like to give facts.
I'll make some calls.
So could you make some calls while you're here? You, when I stepped out into it's great to have you back.
Thank you.
I hope your treatment has cleared everything up.
You're
sitting comfortably, so that shows it's worked.
Exactly. I have to sit on this side, but it's fine.
Okay, that's fine and understandable. I hope you've learnt your lesson. Really, I really hope you've learnt your lesson. You shouldn't play with those things.
You shouldn't. No.
You gave me the look of death when I came out, and I was like, "Scoins, geez, what's wrong?" You went, "You've not let me do my Terry Wogan voice."
That's true.
So, would you like to do your Terry Wogan voice?
I would love to do that.
Away you go.
Thank you. It's just coming up to 7:30. We should go over to Deadly for the headlines.
I'm quite confused, because when I woke up this morning, I thought I was Terry Wogan.
I didn't realise that you'd bought in...
Go on, mate. Have a go.
No, I think you'll find that I'm Terry Wogan, and I shall be handing over to the beautiful Tess Daly this evening at 8:30.
Bruce is coming up. Hello, Bruce. That's slightly Welsh.
I got an email from Janet, who says, Terry, I like listening to all three of you.
Why all these silly fellows? I'm clearly Terry Wogan.
Deadly, stop playing with those balls, for goodness sakes. Leave your balls alone for a minute and let's go over to the beautiful Tess Daly, Tess. Let's have a look at the accumulator and shortly One Direction.
I was on the golf course just yesterday with my wife and...
Was that the current Mrs. Wogan?
Yes, it was.
Mrs. Wogan.
Mrs. Wogan and Ken Bruce was Ken, what's on the show today? Well, we've got Popmaster.
Oh.
Got the Popmaster.
Got Popmaster.
Travel news for beds, cards, and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M1, it's busy southbound between junction 10 for Luton Airport and 9 for Redbourne. And just looking at the speed sensors nearby on the A5 in Dunstable, it's looking quite busy in both directions, particularly approaching either side of Church Street. On the M25, it's busy anti-clockwise between junction 17 for Maple Cross and 15 for the M4. And in Neasden on the North Circular Road, there are queues westbound from the M1 at Staples Corner towards the Neasden interchange. That's because of the roadworks there. On Virgin Trains West Coast, there are 10-minute delays between London Euston and Glasgow Central. So it is affecting trains through Watford Junction and Milton Keynes Central. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts, and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 7:30. I'm Simon Oxley. The US military has carried out a drone strike targeting the Islamic State militant known as Jihadi John. The drone attacked a vehicle transporting Mohammed Emwazi in Syria. The parents of a Hemel Hempstead teenager who came off his moped and was left paralysed say they're facing a battle to secure specialist treatment for him. And a meeting is taking place today in Luton into the ongoing housing crisis in the town. Local authorities from Bedfordshire and Hertfordshire are meeting with London Borough Councils, which continue to place their homeless population in the region.
Three Counties Sport.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The boss of the Milton Keynes Red Bull team says they will race in Formula One next season after months of threatening to quit the sport in a row over a new engine. It's thought they've struck a deal with current engine supplier Renault. Christian Horner's comments also safeguard hundreds of jobs at the team's Tilbrook base in Milton Keynes. Horner was speaking in Brazil, where first practice gets underway later ahead of Sunday's Grand Prix.
We're homing in on a conclusion, that hopefully can be achieved in the coming days, and we will be in Melbourne next year, and hopefully the conclusion that we reach is going to enable us to be more competitive in the 2016 season.
England's footballers play Spain this evening in a friendly in Alicante. Former Milton Keynes Dons midfielder Dele Alli could make his first start. The Republic of Ireland are away to Bosnia-Herzegovina in the first leg of their Euro 2016 playoff. There are no matches tomorrow for Watford, MK Dons or Wycombe because of the international break. Wycombe hosts Leeds in a friendly tonight with a 7:30 kick-off at Adams Park. In League 2 tomorrow, Luton host Barnet, Stevenage go to Yeovil. The Hatters have only won 2 home league matches this season. Manager John Still knows that needs to improve.
There's been a couple of games where we've been really patient and won it, and I think there's been a couple of games where, I'm not going to use the word luck because it's something I believe in, but on another day, the late goals, sometimes through literally no fault of your own. It's just how it happens. But certainly we have to improve our own form.
Athletics World Governing Body will make a decision today on whether to ban Russia from the sport following the damning report into doping. And England's cricketers face Pakistan in the second one-day international in Abu Dhabi later. England are 1 down in the 4-match series. BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 8.
This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Oh, there's some. I've just found 2 cracking stories. Right, so. Okay. Local story. Local and vocal.
Go on then.
This is us. BBC Three Counties Radio. We've got a button here that says it. Local and vocal.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iain Lee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
A curry house. And I might get a curry tonight. I've spent so much money on food this week. Fortune. Absolutely. You know where I ate in Hawksmoor on Eyre Street this week, and I said I'd pay the tab. I didn't know what it was. It was an expensive restaurant. A curry house aims to be the first in the world to deliver its meals by drone.
It won't.
Where is this? Where is this restaurant, The Don? What? It's in Los Angeles. It's in the Riviera. I'm trying to think of posh places.
Monte Carlo.
Milton Keynes. Same initials.
Close.
The Don restaurant in MK wants to land its cormets and naans on diners' doorsteps. owner Aki Rahman has applied for a civil aviation authority licence.
You won't get it.
You don't know that.
I do.
Think big. Think big. Think big. Hey, do you remember? I feel like chicken tonight, like chicken tonight.
It was horrible, that, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It was horrible.
Owner Aki Rahman has applied so he can legally pilot the aircraft all over Buckinghamshire. The 30-year-old...
Dreamer.
The 30-year-old has found a thermal bag that fits securely on the rails of the drone.
That's that
He's
sort of
found
thing.
it. Hey, look, I found a bag, thermal bag. We'll put that on the drone. What was that, Birmingham? Is that Birmingham Asian?
We always default to
Why
fucking
can't we do the
Bradford.
voice? Why can't we do the
You always
voice?
default to Zayn Malik. And I know we miss him.
Look, I found thermal bag that fit on drone. What
Zayn
is...
Malik
Who's Zayn Malik?
from the One Direction. How can you have forgotten him so soon?
Look, found thermal bag that fit on drone. And has practiced landing softly so the lightest poppadom doesn't crumble. This is
Who
awesome.
wrote this?
Both Google and Amazon have already announced plans to deliver items via drones. Well, better than the drones that drive their flipping trucks.
Oh.
But Mr. Rahman said he's determined to beat them.
What, with a plane? Does he
He's
know
done
how
a-
difficult it is to fly one of those drones?
He's-
Because I do, and they hurt.
He's done a trial run. Do you know where to? His nan's. We've done a trial run to my grandmother's house. All went well. She's still got one eye. The restaurateur. Is it restaurateur?
I guess.
No. Restaurateur.
He may have done.
Sorry? The restaurateur.
Yep.
Is it restaurateur? It says here restaurateur.
I'd say I think people say restaurateur.
It's like prerogative. Prerogative.
Bobby Brown sang that.
Even
wrong.
plans to offer customers a copy of the film showing how their meal reached them. This guy's a legend. Can we
Yeah.
get...
I think he's overshooting though.
No.
Because I've tried flying
Right.
my drone around the garden, and it resulted in injury, and not getting very far off the
We
ground.
don't do... Yeah, I know. Well, both of us, we've got bloody instruction manuals that we should have read. And I'm not swearing. They're literally bloody. We don't normally do this. Get Aki Rahman on the show. That's your job, Danny.
He might have been on drive yesterday, I don't
Oh, you're joking!
you know. Dennis is there.
Dennis! Well, Aki
Good
Rahman can
morning.
kiss my chuddies. Yeah, good morning, Dennis.
Yes, I came on about the fact that we older people are much better at sex than you you youngsters.
The woman who says much older men make the better lovers.
Yes. Well, I proved it.
I'm really terrified to ask this question, but
Yes.
how have you proved it?
Well, I produced a great family, and they're producing great families. So, you know.
Yeah,
I
that's
did a
not
lot
about.
of
But
things.
that's not about sex.
I
That's
did
not
a
about.
lot of things before I was tied down to my darling.
Oh, you got tied down together. Wow.
Well, not
kinky.
Yeah, that's right. I couldn't escape.
Ever since my teens, I've had rather a thing for older men. I'm quoting the woman in the article now.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me then for a minute.
I don't mean 2, 3, 5 years older, but decades my senior. The largest age gap was between a lover and me is 37 years.
Blimey.
He was 64, and I was 27.
You're only a child.
That is disgusting. Because if you go back 12 years, well, that's abuse. You go back seriously. You take it. So you got 52 and 15. Do you know what I mean? You do the maths like that, and it's uncomfortable.
Well, I didn't. It didn't bother me.
Well, okay. What's the oldest woman? No, hang on.
No, I never looked at. I never asked a lady's age.
Well, you should always ask the
It's
ladies.
obvious my age. You know, it's
Ancient. Yeah, past it. If you cut you open and count the rings, I don't want to count your ring. But thank you,
blimey.
Dennis. Dealey.
Yes, boss.
The mojo's back.
Good.
Good. Goodness gracious me. Imagine that curry's being delivered by drone.
Oh, amazing.
And well done, Roberto, for having that. That's a cracking story.
Yeah.
Did Roberto have it?
Yeah, he had it last night. And good for him. And I'm going to listen to that on iPlayer. Because I'd love to hear that. I think that's
You
genius.
can speak to him again if you want.
No. Roberto's done it, and it's wonderful. I'll listen on iPlayer. I'll listen on iPlayer. It's a genius idea, isn't it? And not only do you get your food, you get a video of the route. Come
This is
on,
wonderful.
Dude. Come on, dude.
Welcome to 2015. Our vibe.
And does he just drop it in your back garden? You go and have to stand outside with the four of you got a sheet between you, and you have to catch it like an old woman jumping out of a burning building.
Fun as well.
If he's that good at flying drones, why isn't he doing like wedding photography or something where he could earn some proper cash?
Because he's a chef. he's a chef. And everyone's doing that. He's an entrepreneur.
It's going to take him ages as well.
It's another one,
burning
entrepreneur.
while he's flying things out.
No, he'll have somebody. It's teamwork. Oh, I'm fully behind this guy, 100%. Justin. So this woman. Oh gosh. This woman is the reason she says that older men make better lovers.
Yeah.
The champagne flows freely. Many of my much older boyfriends have been eccentric artists
Money,
with a
then.
taste for champagne.
Money.
Yeah, cash is king.
Artists, this is you, Just. Artists tend to have a hedonistic streak and offer excitement.
Yeah, I'll go along with that, yeah.
Save on heating bills. My flat in Notting Hill doesn't have central heating and is freezing in the winter. Therefore, it's a huge plus when boyfriends don't mind the cold. Older men are hardier.
What?
They went to public schools which were freezing in the 50s during war rationing years.
Oh, she's a character.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Skills beneath the sheets.
Oh, no.
Older men have lots of experience and lucky you can reap the benefits. Testosterone drops in late middle age, making older men more tender and less aggressive.
What?
They tend to be better lovers than younger men who have less time and energy as they're focused on their careers. I once had a scare when a much older lover suddenly became completely motionless and quiet in bed. When I nervously asked him whether he was all right, he retorted, "Did you think I was dead?" You've taken this to the streets, Just. What you got?
Please, can you get this woman on the programme? Please, that is all I ask. So
Okay.
yeah, I've been on the
she might be
streets this
busy.
morning. Yeah, clearly, been on the streets this morning asking how old would you go? Here's what the streets had to say.
Take her to the street with a J-Dog hashtag. How old would you go?
Madam, can we get deep? Can we get personal?
Go on then.
Go on then. Right. Front page of the Mail today says that the older men are better lovers. How old would you go? Give me a number.
I'd only go a couple of years older than me.
Why?
Because I don't want to end up looking after someone that's like 20 or 30 years older than me.
Do you know why?
No, I couldn't do it. Because you would end up being their carer.
Okay, so the limit is 2 years just in case they get ill.
Yeah. Yeah.
People like you make me puke.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Older men make better lovers. How old would you go?
Oh my God, 10 years above maybe.
Princess, in terms of older men, what's your limit? Give me a number.
5 years older than me?
Why only 5? Why not 15?
Because my husband's younger than me.
You got yourself a toy boy, haven't you? Does it feel good?
Yes.
Okay. Come on, Lisa, how old would you go?
My other half's 51.
How old are you?
24.
Oh, so, right, okay, you're a classic example here. He's 51, you're 24. Is he a better lover than your previous lovers who may have been around your age?
He's more mature than other people.
Yeah.
But then sometimes he can get in a mood over the littlest things that I do because I'm a little bit younger. Do you know what I mean?
How old? How much older than me? 10 years?
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? That's a really rude question.
I'm 35.
Okay, so 45 is the absolute limit for you. Okay. Your experience with older men, good, bad or ugly?
A mixture.
Good, bad or ugly?
Oh, good, bad and ugly.
Good, bad or ugly? One of the three.
Good.
Yeah, we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Three Counties Paxman. You weren't letting her get away with that, were you?
No, I wasn't, no.
Scoins is loitering. Scoins, come in and join us. Come and speak to the J-Dog. Come in, please.
He's made me a lovely coffee, and Scoinsy may be going out onto the streets with me very soon as a tag team.
That's not been confirmed.
You look very confused by that suggestion.
Pretty sure.
What? I thought we had this conversation. You said, yeah, I'm up for that, J-Dog. Not a problem.
I'll do that, Justin. If you're
one of these. You go on the radio.
back-
You go on the radio. Then you change your opinion.
No.
You're one of those. Yeah, you
No.
are. You
No,
are, mate.
Guys, come on. There's been so much hatred this week. I promote love, as you know. All kinds of love. Go out on the streets with him.
All right.
There we go. Sorted. You see what
Thanks,
to do what?
Well, whatever you want. You're about to instruct me on the next thing for people to talk about.
I've not found anything yet. I will do. Top of the hour, I will do.
All right, mate.
Cheers, boss. Speak to you later.
Thanks.
Excellent
Bye,
stuff. What you got? What you're bursting with excitement and glee.
You asked me for confirmation of the pricing of this conference of the Labour Party in Stevenage, where Jeremy Corbyn will be speaking tomorrow.
The Holiday Inn, we had one contributor who said £65 a ticket plus £45 per lunch on top of that.
It's absolutely true.
Wow.
It's absolutely true.
In Stevenage?
In Stevenage. That
Stevenage,
£65 gives you access for the full 3 days.
Okay.
Just want to put it into context.
Okay, yeah.
It's, I think, more than half the price cheaper than the Glastonbury Festival, just to put it into...
Okay, and what bands are reforming for Stevenage?
I don't think there's evening entertainment.
Okay. Well, 65 for 3 days. Okay, all right, yeah.
The meal on the Saturday, where the special guest speaker will be in attendance, is the £45. Now, you don't have to attend the conference to go to that. You can still pay your £45 and go to this, but there won't be a speech, I don't think.
Okay, so you're hang on. So you're paying £45
yeah.
to watch an old man with a beard eat a meal?
A buffet. A buffet meal.
Oh, so you could stand next to him in the buffet?
You could do.
It's political madness gone wrong.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's busy on the M1 southbound between Junction 10 for Luton Airport and 9 for Redbourne, and it's also looking busy nearby on the A5 in both directions in Dunstable. On the M25 anti-clockwise, it's slow from Junction 24 for Potters Bar to 23 for the A1M at South Mims, and the A41's looking busy now from the Hemel Hempstead turnoff towards the M25 Junction 20 for Kings Langley. In Elstow on the A6, Ampthill Road's very busy into town between Rope Walk and London Road, and the A1 is slow southbound from the St Neots Junction towards the Black Cat roundabout. On the train departure boards, the 806 train from Milton Keynes Central to Manchester is delayed by 10 minutes. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Sammy, thank you very much indeed. Scoins has even brought in a menu of what might be available at that buffet. A lot of quiche. We'll have a look at that. When you hear us looking at that, it means we're running low on material. 7:47, these are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. The US military has carried out a drone strike targeting the Islamic State militant Mohammed Emwazi, known popularly as Jihadi John. The parents of a Hemel Hempstead teenager who came off his moped and was left paralysed say they're facing a battle to secure specialist treatment for him. And the boss of the Milton Keynes Red Bull team says they will race in Formula One next season, safeguarding hundreds of jobs at the team's Tilbrook base. Let's get the weather!
Beds, Herts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hello, very good morning to you. It's going to feel distinctly chilly today, particularly when you compare it to all the mild weather that we've been having so far this week. Today we're starting off in single figures actually for many areas. There's plenty of sunshine around through the morning and it should stay dry for the next couple of hours or so. Then basically we've got this line of very squally showers headed in from the west. It won't last for too long, but there will be some rather heavy downpours just for a short while and also some rather squally gusts of wind as well. But it should all be gone by the time we get to say 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, and there on in it's looking mostly dry with the odd isolated shower here and there with some sunny spells. Still feeling quite blustery throughout the day today, and top temperatures of only around 10 or 11 degrees. That's 52 in Fahrenheit. Cold too overnight tonight, lows of 5 or 6 degrees. The odd shower, but mostly dry tonight, and a dry start to the weekend, but it's not going to stay dry. There's going to be further outbreaks of rain on Saturday afternoon well into Saturday evening. A rather windy day tomorrow, but slowly getting milder. We'll see a return to those rather grey sky conditions and lots of moisture in the air, of course. Sunday is looking like a drier day, but there'll still be some outbreaks of drizzle, and it's going to be rather overcast and grey through the day and really rather windy as well. But by the time we get to the afternoon, we'll be back up to above the average for this time of year at around 14 or 15 degrees Celsius, and it's staying quite wet and windy at times into next week. That's the forecast.
Cheers, my dears!
If you prick us, do we not bleed?
I want you with your stab-proof vest on. I want you with your CS gas. We put our lives on the line every time we go out there.
If you tickle us, do we not laugh?
Sherlock, any chance of an end date for this speech? Sorry. Off-piste, back now. Phew.
If you poison us, do we not die?
In order to do the terrible things that he does, the killer dehumanizes his victims.
And if you wrong us, do we not revenge?
He's never going to stop. He's just going to keep doing it and doing it because he'll never get back whatever he's lost.
Compelling characters returning. Pure drama. Only on the BBC.
03459 455 555. Now, a meeting is taking place in Luton today into the ongoing housing crisis in the town and the surrounding areas. Local authorities from Bedfordshire and Hertfordshire are meeting with London Borough Councils, which continue to place their homeless in the home counties. The councillor in charge of housing at Luton Borough Council, Tom Shaw, says he wants the London boroughs to make a commitment not to house families with excluded landlords and in areas where there is no school provision. Tom joins you now. Morning, Tom. Who's attending the meeting and what's it about?
We've got good attendance: Barnet, Brent, Harrow, Hackney, Enfield, Camden, Bedford Borough, St Albans. Real good attendance at it. And what it's about is we're going to present what's called a memorandum of understanding. And what's in there is let's all try and work together instead of having a row all the time with each other. And let's try and work in these rules. You know, if you've got children with special needs, tell us about it. Because it's no good just sending them to Luton and then they're still being full. We need to know.
So you're now accepting these families from London, because a couple of weeks ago you were going to sue all these London boroughs.
That's in the understanding as well that you will not statutory overcrowd. You will not send children here with special needs without telling us about it. You won't send people who've got mental health problems without telling us they've got mental health problems so we can make provision. We don't want to go to court with anyone.
So you've backed down from your original stance then, Tom?
I'm backing down slowly, but hopefully by agreement. That's what we want out of people.
So why are you backing down? Because, as I say, a couple of weeks ago you didn't want anybody from London boroughs being housed here, and you were going to sue them, and now you're saying, yeah, you can send them.
No, I never said that, Ian. Check your own tapes. What I said was we don't want people here without us knowing about it.
Ah, OK. Well, I must have misunderstood.
Coming into areas where the schools are full. Okay. And just being presented with a letter, this is your local school.
Because you send people all over the country, don't you?
We've got people now in London, in Enfield. We've managed to do a deal with a lot of people. We've got people.
One woman was offered a place in Newcastle recently. Is that right?
No, she was not. No, she was not.
Oh, when she spoke to us, she said she was offered a place. When she spoke to us, she said she was offered a place in Newcastle.
And you were told on the Friday morning. And your producers were told on the Friday morning that was completely false.
You wouldn't come on air and talk about it, Tom, so I don't know. So you tell me now.
Yeah. Your producers were told on the Friday.
You tell Tom. You tell me now.
What she was a person that had been found intentionally homeless. I don't like talking about individual cases, so talking the generality of this case, she was found intentionally homeless, a non-payment of rent. And all we do then is help them to find a place in the private sector in Luton and everywhere. No officer of the council made an offer of Newcastle. They wouldn't do because a woman had been found intentionally homeless.
But you do try and house people outside of Luton. So is that why you've backed down from the incredibly strong criticism of the London boroughs a few weeks ago? And you really your tune has changed, Tom.
I've still got that criticism of the London boroughs.
But you're not going to take them to court anymore. You're now going to allow them to bring people here.
No, I'm not saying. If we find someone with statutory overcrowding, we will take them to court. But what we're trying to do is get a sensible agreement over the children, their education. If they've got to come here, talk to us and tell us they're coming here, so we can actually. You know, if we've got to make arrangements, we'll make arrangements. We've got kids with special needs.
The problem is
not being shoved females across the town.
The problem is that not everybody, that they don't have to adhere to this. Anyone that's coming is coming out of a decency, and a lot of the important boroughs aren't coming. Waltham Forest isn't coming, is it?
Waltham Forest is coming.
Waltham Forest is coming now because they weren't. When did they confirm they were coming?
Yesterday.
Okay, so they are coming.
Yeah, Waltham Forest is a stock transfer association, and the head of their stock transfer is coming to the meeting today.
At the end of the day, though, a private landlord can do whatever they want, can't they? And if a borough, if a council says we've got this family, will you take them? They'll probably say yes.
Well, that's one of our big problems, because what we've got is we've got private landlords that we've taken off our list because the properties aren't satisfactory, or we found stuff wrong with the properties when we'll be doing our inspections. Now it cuts the rug right from under our feet if that the other local authorities don't say to us, is this landlord an accredited landlord? Is it one where you've withdrawn the accreditation? And what's been happening is some of the landlords where the accreditation has been withdrawn have actually been taking some of these people. What we're saying to the London boroughs is, you wouldn't like it if we sent people down there to unaccredited landlords. We don't want you doing here. Please, will you agree to this as part of the contract?
So what are the things? Because before when you came in, you didn't want anybody, but now it's just you don't want people in unaccredited flats, and you want to know if the kids have got special needs. Is that it?
Yeah. We're not there just to, have a wall all the time, but what we want to do is try and do it by agreement if it's going to happen.
And if they don't agree, will you still take them to court?
If they overcrowd, we've got no choice. They've got a power to send.
Why have you backed down, Tom? Because you were so. Is it because you realised that you couldn't win and you'd be wasting? Because you were quite happy. I mean, how much is it you spent? Was it Bedford that you took to court? You spent what, £250,000 on that, thereabouts.
Central beds, and that's still ongoing.
Still chucking money into that, even though it was kind of laughed out of court.
No. The inspector. If you're going to start attacking people, the planning inspector would do central beds plans. That's what's happening at the moment. So
but when it went to court, though, I don't think any of your points are upheld, were they, in court?
The first one wasn't, no, but the second was, what everyone likes to ignore, was upheld by the planning inspector.
So what is it, about £250,000 that you've spent on court cases? Is that why you're backing down from a court case? Because you realised actually it's other people's money and it's not really worth it?
I mean, no disrespect to yourself, but if I could get one extra house out of there, that £250,000 would have been worth it, wouldn't it?
Or you could have. Well, no, you could have probably bought a couple of. You probably could have bought a couple of flats for £250,000.
What, in another? I don't think so. Not in Luton, with the way the prices are going.
How much is a house in? How much is a flat in Luton?
Now the average would be about 140.
Okay, so you could have bought 1.5 flats. So probably was a waste of money.
No, I don't think it was a waste of money. And if we can get 200 or 300 houses out of it sometime in the near future, and then it won't.
How likely are you to get those 300 houses out of it in the near future?
I would have thought when the planning inspectors are finished, very likely.
Be interesting to see, wouldn't it? Be good if it happened.
Well, the local plans are all up for review now.
Okay. All right, Tom. Always good to talk to you, mate. Thanks very much.
No problem at all, Ian.
Cheers. Let's see how it goes. Tom Short, 03459 455 555 is the telephone number.
This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
I can't read all of that text about the 15-year-old lad. Can you read it all? For some reason, the screen is not allowing me. The one that starts morning in, just a message regarding the young 15-year-old lad of Hemel. Can you see that? Oh, what was a click? Oh, we'll turn your microphone on. There we go.
Morning, Ian, and this is from doesn't say, and. Okay, it's got a comma at the end, but I think that's a full stop. Right, okay. Just a message regarding the young 15-year-old lad of Hemel Hempstead. I've been following his, I'm guessing, story via social media, etc. And it annoys me, however this lad's injuries were caused, how he can be denied treatment in this day and age. It's absolutely disgusting. I really wish the family and Christian Lee all the luck in the world with finding somewhere suitable for his needs very soon.
Yeah, and so do I. And it's a really sad story. And I know we've been talking about the off-roaders on this show for ages, and it gets people very angry. Of course it gets angry. And, it's annoying, and it's a pain in the backside, and it's dangerous to everybody concerned. But this poor lad, his life is ruined because he did a stupid teenage thing.
He can't even speak anymore.
And it's awful and it's terribly sad. And I think it kind of shows that, it's all right to get angry about these kids that are tearing up areas. Of course it's all right to get angry about it. If it's your area, I'd be annoyed if it was my area. But this is serious, this is serious. People could potentially die. People's lives, this lad's life has been ruined. So, it's, the hang and flogging brigade, they're probably wrong on this one. You kind of need to look at it in... what's the horrible phrase that I hate but actually probably fits? In a holistic fashion. You need to look at it holistically. 03459 455 555 is the phone number.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Bedford Watford on the A6 in both directions that's been blocked because of a fire at Maryvale Road, and on the M1 southbound it's very slow from junction 10 for Luton Airport to 9 for Redbourne, and the M25 is busy anti-clockwise from junction 17 for Maple Cross to 15 for the M4. In Watford on Beech and Grove it's looking very busy now on the speed sensors around Escort Road, and in Beaconsfield Amersham Road's busy southbound between Longbottom Lane and the A40 London Road. Samantha Brough, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. I've just seen a rare sight. Simon Oxley bounding into the studio. 03459 455 555.
Local and vocal across Beds, Herts and Bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: man charged with Buckinghamshire Village murder, US drone strike targets Jihadi John, and Milton Keynes team to stay in Formula One.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Police in Buckinghamshire have charged a man with murder after a 69-year-old died days after an altercation on a zebra crossing in Chalfont St Peter. 70-year-old Odysseus Vafiadis of Birchdale in Gerrards Cross has been charged with the murder of Paul Davidson from Chalfont St Peter, who died on Monday following an incident last Friday. He's due to appear at High Wycombe Magistrates Court this morning. The US military has carried out a drone strike targeting the Islamic State militant known as Jihadi John. The drone attacked a vehicle transporting Mohammed Emwazi in Syria. The extremist, who's been identified as a British man, appeared in several videos showing Western hostages being beheaded. Noah Feldman is the author of the book The Fall and Rise of the Islamic State.
I strongly suspect that they must have very good partial confirmation, or they wouldn't be going forward, simply because of the embarrassment that would be attendant on it if they subsequently had to retract the story, or if he were to suddenly appear on a video and say, you see, you haven't gotten me at all. So it's quite likely that they have indeed gotten him.
A meeting is taking place today in Luton into the ongoing housing crisis in the town and surrounding area. Local authorities from Bedfordshire and Hertfordshire are meeting with London Borough Councils, which continue to place their homeless population in the region. Luton Councillor Tom Shaw says they accept they will have to take people in, but with conditions.
That's in the understanding as well that you will not statutory overcrowd. You will not send children here with special needs without telling us about it. You won't send people who've got mental health problems without telling us they've got mental health problems, so we can make provision.
The parents of a Hemel Hempstead teenager who came off his moped and was left paralysed say they're facing a battle to secure specialist treatment for him. 15-year-old Christian Lee Thompson suffered serious head injuries in the incident on the disused Nicky railway line in July. One man has been arrested. 2 police officers are under investigation. More from Matt Lockwood.
Christian Lee had to have surgery on his skull and was in a coma for 2.5 weeks following the accident. His parents say they had secured a place for Christian Lee at a rehabilitation centre in Surrey run by the Children's Trust, but the charity has since said they cannot meet his complex needs. The circumstances surrounding how the teenager sustained his injuries are being investigated by Herts Police and the Independent Police Complaints Commission.
Sir Terry Wogan's been forced to pull out of presenting tonight's Children in Need because of back problems. Sir Terry's hosted every live show since the event started in 1980. In sport, the boss of the Milton Keynes Red Bull team says they will race in Formula One next season after months of threatening to quit the sport in a row over a new engine. Christian Horner's comments also safeguard hundreds of jobs at the team's Tilbrook base in Milton Keynes.
We've entered the World Championship and I believe we're very close to concluding what direction we're going to be heading power unit wise for 2016.
The weather windy with squally showers and feeling colder, a maximum temperature 10 degrees Celsius. And you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Thank you, Simon. 03459 455 555. Anyone can call in, by the way. Anyone. We've got a couple of argy-bargy texts, which I'm not going to go into because I don't really feel it appropriate. Some people are unhappy with the way I've covered a specific story. I'm going to invite everybody that's texted in to call in. If you want to have the conversation on air, we'll do it. I'm not going to read the texts because then it becomes kind of a one-way thing, and then it could be perceived as bullying, and I don't want to. I've had a text from someone in the family of Christian Lees who's unhappy with the way that I have dealt with the story, and I dispute the criticism, but I also understand why you're incredibly upset. So if you want to come on and talk about it, we'll talk about it. 03459 455 555. I think you're hearing something that you expected to hear, but actually you didn't hear. I think you're filling in the blanks yourself, which is in your situation is completely understandable. I mean that 100%. So 03459 455 555.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
The story? Well, the parents of a teenager who came off his moped in Hemel and was left paralysed are struggling to get specialist rehabilitation treatment for their son. 15-year-old Christian Lee Thompson suffered serious head injuries when he came off his bike on the 16th of July. Well, Louise Wilkinson is the Information and Learning Manager for the Child Brain Injury Trust charity. Morning, Louise.
Good morning, Ian.
These injuries, severe brain injuries, they're devastating for everybody involved, the young person and the family, of course, aren't they?
Yes, I mean, it's not just the young person when they acquire a brain injury. The impact across the family as a whole, both parents and siblings and extended family, is incredible. And it's not an outcome that anyone expects when they wake up that morning.
Families struggling to get the specialist rehabilitation treatment, I'm guessing that is probably quite common, isn't it? To get the specific treatment packages that they need for their son or daughter that's injured.
Yeah, I mean, to put it in perspective, and it's a very sort of little known fact, that each year roughly 1.4 million people go to hospitals in England and Wales with head injuries, and between 30 and 50% of those are young people under the age of 15, so around about Christian Lee's age and younger. And there is very little out there by way of further rehabilitation and support. You mentioned one charity down in Surrey, and they are really the only residential rehabilitation unit in the whole of the UK. So when you put it in terms of those statistics I've just given you, you can hopefully appreciate that there is just so little support out there for these young people and indeed for the families.
Does it change when they become 18? Is there more care for adults than there is for children? So if it happens to you when you're 15, you've got less chance of being looked after than if you're 18?
There is without doubt more residential rehabilitation and community rehabilitation for adults with an acquired brain injury. For children and young people, as I say, there is very little out there, which is why the charity, the Child Brain Injury Trust, was set up in the first place, because it was recognised that families were being discharged, or young people and children were being discharged from hospital with very little support following on. And what we try to do is to support families. You used the word holistically and said you don't like using it, but that's what we do. Yeah,
it's a word. It is appropriate, isn't it, in things like this?
Very much so, because of the whole impact that the brain injury has across the family. So we're there to support the family, the child themselves, and as I say, the siblings and extended family. And
obviously, we're talking about brain injuries as though it's one thing. Obviously, every case is unique and is different, and there are an infinite number of ways that the brain can be impacted. But the rehabilitation, and whether that be, I don't know, speech therapy or physiotherapy or whatever it may be, getting it as early as possible, I'd imagine, is really important to the recovery.
It is beneficial whether you're a young person or an adult, in as much as the brain does have the ability to rewire itself. Once the cells are injured, they're injured and they're not going to be regrown. So what the brain tries to do is to find those alternative pathways to try and recover some of those lost functions. And it's really important to try and do as much of that rehabilitation in the first 2 years. But the key difference with children and young people is that their brains are still developing. We continue to develop our abilities and our functionings within our brain up until the age of around about 24, 25. So for Christian Lee, he still has a lot of development already there. But what we don't know is whether there's any injuries to those ongoing developmental aspects.
And the thing is, as well, there will be some people who might be switching off during this, or might be wandering or going, it doesn't concern me. This could happen to anyone. Who knows what's going to happen to me when I walk out of this this building. I don't know what's going to happen to my kids at school. It could happen to anyone at any point, couldn't it?
It could. And statistically, actually, sadly, Christian Lee is in the bracket where young people are most likely to acquire a brain injury. And that is that boys between the age of 15 to 29 are more likely to acquire a brain injury because of their risk-taking behaviour.
They're 15-year-old boys. It's what they do, isn't it? They mess around and they jump off stuff and they climb up stuff and they ride stuff too fast without helmets because they're immortal.
Exactly, yes. And so as I say, sadly he does fall within that bracket. But as you said earlier on in the programme, it doesn't matter what the situation is. It is devastating for the family. And that's what we try to do. I mean, if the family themselves would like to contact us, we'd be more than happy to try and help and support them.
Well, we'll certainly give your details to them, and if they choose to act on that, then that's entirely up to them. What kind of help does the Child Brain Injury Trust give to families?
We support families throughout the UK, and we provide support via our team of child and family support coordinators who work very closely with the families, assess their needs, not necessarily their medical needs, but assess their overall needs, and will help and support them emotionally and practically as best that we can. And that could include signposting and perhaps in Christian Lee's case to try and find alternative means, which may even be down a legal route in order to assist them.
What's the website, Louise, if people want to go and have a look?
It's www.childbraininjurytrust.uk.
Okay. What we'll do is I'll make sure that one of my team passes your details on to the charity's details on to Christian Lee's family, and then the choice is up to them.
Iain. Yeah, and if people want to know a little bit more about us, in actual fact, we're very pleased and proud that we're going to be on BBC Children in Need tonight as one of the featured charities.
Oh, look at you on the telly. Do you know what time? Do they tell you what time?
No, unfortunately, we have no idea, so some of us could still be up until 2 o'clock this morning.
Set the video recorder. Is it you that's going to be on it?
No. It's a family that we've supported, explaining how we've worked with them up in the northwest, where BBC Children in Need have provided funding.
And so, will you? How does it work? Will you then, like in a few weeks, a month's time, get a little cheque from Children in Need? Is that how you?
No, it's a lot more complicated than that. Charities have to apply for funding and have to give a real good case as to why we require the funding in that particular area. So it's quite a long process that we have to go through. So yes, we received the funding a few years ago to support one of our child and family
Okay. So the film tonight is showing this is what Children in Need did for us and this family.
It's basically showing the general public what their money is spent on.
Well, excellent stuff, Louise. Really nice to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. 03459 455 555 is the telephone number. Louise Wilkinson from the Child Brain Injury Trust. 81333. Start your text 3CR. She was nice, wasn't she?
I'm going to ring Stephen about this.
Do you want to do it now?
Christian Lee's dad. Yeah, I think so.
All right, go on. You do it. You do it now. Make sure he's got. And then it's then we've presented it, and if they want to get in touch, they can. And if they don't want to, they don't have to. Then that's absolutely fine. Minister tells poor, get rid of your satellite television. A Tory minister whose gums are way too big. I know we shouldn't focus on looks, but she's got a touch of the Palomas. It's all gum, very little teeth.
Oh dear.
A Tory minister sparked fury yesterday for telling poorer workers set to lose thousands in tax credit cuts, to make ends meet by scrapping TV subscriptions. I don't have a problem. Sorry?
So they're not allowed to watch the news and that?
No. Of course they are. But get rid of Sky. Get rid of your get rid of your TV packages. Do
you want to examine all their finances, see what they spend money on?
No. I always agree with this. All right, I'm not necessarily saying I endorse tax credit cuts. They're probably a little bit snarky. But if you do you remember we remember when the spare room subsidy was the story du jour, and we had someone on who couldn't afford. It worked out like 40 quid a month extra, which is a few quid, right? But she smoked 10 cigarettes a day and she had Sky. Now, the cheapest Sky package is 22 quid, right? So get rid of that, cut your smoke, get rid of your smoking, there's your 40 quid a month. Do you know what I mean? Okay, it's slightly simplistic, but I was looking to save a few quid. I got rid of Sky. I've got rid of Sky. So, I mean, it saved me 22 quid a month. In the great scheme of things, I could absorb that.
No, but as a proportion of what your income is, it's more sizable to them.
You get rid of Sky. Sky is a luxury. It's not a right.
But isn't it a bit patronising and judgmental to sort of start flapping that around with people? If they are...
No, it's not.
Can't they prioritise themselves?
No, they can't. Because there'll be people listening. I've had this argument. They go, well, no, Sky's not a luxury.
Not all of them, though. Some of them are doing this.
Some of them are doing it. Of course they are. Sky's not a luxury. Yes, it is. We got Freeview now. We watch Freeview. I mean, we got Netflix as well. We got Amazon, Amazon is getting booted right out once that contract ends. Boy, they're off. I'm lucky enough that I can afford Netflix. Okay, so we've got Netflix, but once we've creamed Netflix, we'll get rid of that. There's only so much on there. You got Freeview, you got your BBC, you got your channel. I think do you get Sky News as part of Freeview? I've got a feeling you might do.
Right, this all makes sense, but what I don't like is the snarkiness about it. This kind of accusatory, holier than thou thing.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Shadow Treasury Minister Rebecca Long-Bailey said, it's outrageous for a serving minister to claim working families simply need to go without to make ends meet. It's a luxury. It's a luxury.
Yeah,
Sky and all these TV packages are luxuries.
Yeah, a lot of these people are really sensible and they know this and they don't need some bloke in his ivory tower telling them that.
Unfortunately, a lot of people don't. Sports Minister Tracy Crouch apologised later after claiming families who stand to be £1,300 out of pocket should axe spending on services such as Sky and Netflix to compensate. Netflix is like $6.99 a month. If you got Sky as well, you're looking at about £30 a month minimum.
I know, but it all feeds into this thing of they all smoke and got widescreen tellies and the victimisation of people who are...
You can't buy anything that's not a widescreen telly at the moment. You can only get widescreen tellies. If someone had a square screen telly, I would be curious to know where they got it from. Please.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Bedford, Ant Hill Road has been closed in both directions between Elstow Road and Britannia Road because of a fire in a moped, and that's causing a delay from the A421. On the Leighton Buzzard A4146 westbound between Billington Road at the Total Roundabout and the Ledburn Roundabout, it's very slow because of some roadworks nearby. And in Farnham Common on Beaconsfield Road, they're accusing both directions at Templewood Lane.
I used to live in Farnham. Templewood Lane, I know it. Templewood Lane, right? To get to Templewood Lane, Sammy, you had to go past. You had to go past the Threshers off licence. Right. Who worked in Threshers off licence when I was a kid?
You did?
No, Zoe Ball.
Oh,
thank you very much. Continue with the travel.
On the M25, it's busy anti-clockwise between junction 17 for Maple Cross and 15 for the M4. And the North Circular Road in Neaston is slow westbound between the M1 junction 1 at Staples Corner and the Neaston interchange through the roadworks. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. Yeah, Zoe Ball used to work in my local branch of Threshers, Templewood Lane. To get there, you had to ride up there and then do the first left to go and meet my mate Graham Scott, who was Roger Scott, the DJ's son. Is anybody interested? No? OK, fine. Used to go around Graham Scott's house and play Ghostbusters on his Spectrum, yeah?
He's got me.
8:17. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. Police in Buckinghamshire have charged a man with murder after a 69-year-old died days after an altercation on a zebra crossing in Chalfont St Peter. The US military has carried out a drone strike targeting the Islamic State militant Mohammed Emwazi, known as Jihadi John, and the parents of a Hemel Hempstead teenager who came off his moped and was left paralysed say they're facing a battle to secure specialist treatment for him.
Tonight on BBC One is Children in Need, and it's going to be one epic night of entertainment starring Harry Hill.
I can see big names from the world of showbiz.
The residents of Albert Square.
It just takes a lot of getting used to.
Yes, sweetheart, and you better get used to it.
And taking to the Strictly dance floor, the cast of Call the Midwife.
Fabulous!
Plus an exclusive Star Wars special. BBC Children in Need, tonight from 7:30 on BBC One.
Right, we've been talking about Christian Lee Thompson, the 15-year-old lad that came off a moped and has got serious, horrific head injuries. We just spoke to Louise Wilkinson, who is from the Child Brain Injury Trust charity. That's a mouthful. They always are a mouthful. And Catherine's just spoken to Stephen, who is Christian Lee's dad, and given him the details. And Stephen wanted to come back on the line and just say a few more things. Morning, Stephen.
Morning.
Nice to have you back on. What you felt that the conversation was unfinished? What did you want to say that we didn't get in an hour ago?
The point I wanted to make is that my son is in the Royal London Hospital, and first of all, I'd like to thank all the nurses and doctors who have cared for him and looking after him. The point people need to understand with my son is that there is nowhere else for him to go now at the moment. The only thing on the table is an adult rehab. I mean, you wouldn't put a 15-year-old in a male prison at 21. And the other point I wanted to make, you said on the conversation earlier, you've got 2 young children. Now, I want you to imagine this, as hard as it will be for you.
I'm not going to play that game. I'm really sorry. I'm not going to imagine my kids in that position. I'm really sorry.
All right, I'm going to put it this way. Any child now has a major head injury, falls off a bike, trips over the curb and hits their head on the floor. At this moment in time in this country, there is hardly anywhere for any child to get the neuro rehab they need.
Oh, it's outrageous. Yeah, of course.
And I'm in a hospital now, which is desperately trying to get a paediatric neuro rehab ward in there. The NHS are not funding them. I've had a hospital, I've done an assessment on Christian Lee yesterday, and the NHS will not fund this hospital. So, every parent needs to understand. If my son was in the wrong for riding the bike, we understand that. Everyone understands it. But the point is that every child now who has a head injury in this country, a major head injury, as severe as Christian Lee's, will not get a rehab because there's hardly any places for children to get the treatment they need. And this is the real story. It's not just about my son, it's about every child, every parent's child.
Stephen,
I'm living the biggest nightmare anyone could possibly live.
Oh, I know.
No, you don't know.
Okay, well, Stephen obviously very upset there. Understandably so. We've given him the details of the Child Brain Injury Trust charity, and if he chooses to get in touch with them, then that's entirely up to him. And I genuinely wish that family nothing but love and luck. And you heard a dad there who's worried about his boy, Of course. All right, Stephen, I hope you're all right. I didn't cut you off. I think I don't know what happened there, but I wish you the best of luck. Right. 03459 455 555 is the telephone number.
This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Jeremy Corbyn is coming to Stevenage tomorrow for the Labour Regional Conference. Tickets for the weekend are £65, and you get a nice buffet meal with the new leader of the Labour Party for just £45. Some of the things, Catherine, that you might be expected to have at that meal include a selection of closed sandwiches.
Oh, so sandwiches?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sausage rolls, individual pork pies, cheese and ham puffs, cheese and onion quiche, and fish goujon.
Oh.
So it sounds all right, doesn't it? Buffet, you can go have as much as you want.
Being Labour, and being no-nonsense Jeremy Corbyn, you'd think they call them fish fingers, wouldn't you?
It's a target seat for Labour, who last held the town when Barbara Follett was the MP. That was until Stephen McPartland, Conservative MP for Stevenage, came along. Stephen joins me now. Morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Ian. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Corbyn is parking his non-nuclear pacifist tanks on your lawn. How does that make you feel?
We always welcome Labour leadership to Stevenage. It always makes us very happy that people get to see them, meet them and talk to them. It shows people exactly what the opportunity is. They can choose to have the Conservative Party or the Labour Party. I mean, Jeremy is a very nice guy, and there's a lot going on in the Labour Party at the moment, as you know.
Are you hello?
Sorry,
yes,
you cut out.
Something's going on with our phones. There's a surprise. No, we're there. Apparently, Labour have put on over 200 members in the town since he took charge. How many members of the Conservative Party are there in Stevenage?
We don't give out membership details, but
not that many.
We don't give out membership details, but I can tell you that during the general election, we had about 280 activists working in the town from Stevenage, and the Labour Party brought their activists in from outside.
Does it worry you? Because it was a Labour town until you came along, and people obviously felt that Labour weren't offering them enough, and that the Conservatives were offering them what they wanted. Do you worry about the growth in Labour membership since Corbyn rocked up?
No, at all. I mean, I won the seat in 2010 from Labour, as you said, and then in 2015 I increased my majority, and I currently have 45% of the vote. And the other 7 candidates shared the other 55% between them.
So it's a pretty comfortable seat then, for the moment. You've been, interestingly, Stephen, reading up on you, you've been a big critic of your government's plan to cut tax credits, and you boycotted a visit from the Treasury Minister this week. Why was that?
I just thought it was inappropriate that he was coming to my town to talk about research and development tax credits. And I'm trying to mitigate the damage that the current proposals for working tax credits and child tax credits will have on families around the country. So I asked him not to come, and I thought it was inappropriate that he came to basically give money to large businesses when we're trying to work out how to help working families.
Have you had families in your constituency then saying these tax credits are going to hurt us?
Not really. I know this sounds really weird that I'm standing up to 3 million people around the country. The problem is tax credits are such a complicated issue. A lot of people who are affected don't actually understand the way in which they're going to be affected, because no 2 families are the same.
Yeah.
So although I've not had them coming to me, I can see the impact it's going to have on people next April, and I'm trying to get that message out so that they understand and they can start campaigning as well. So we need pressure on other Conservative members of Parliament and Labour as well. I mean, one of the things that really annoyed me, Iain, is when I voted against the original tax credit changes, about 30 Labour MPs didn't turn up to vote. They didn't bother. And, that was really frustrating. At the moment, when Jeremy is in Stevenage tomorrow, Labour will once again be talking to themselves, whereas the argument around tax credit seems to be between me and the government.
Yeah, it does annoy me when MPs don't bother rocking up for, a really important vote, whatever party they're from. If there's an important vote that is, it affects people, that turn up. Finally, Stephen, Tracy Crouch, the sports minister, has suggested that people who might be affected by tax credit cuts get rid of things such as Sky and Netflix. I wonder what your thoughts were on her comments.
I mean, I like Tracy. She's really, really great lady, salt of the earth. And I know that she's come out and apologised, and she said she didn't actually mean it the way in which it was taken. To me, the real issue is around the changes themselves. The initial change in the threshold creates an instant £1,200 cut for anybody earning more than £6,500. And that's what my problem is with it. The cut's too extreme. It's too simple a mechanism.
All right, Stephen. Nice to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed.
Cheers, bye.
Cheers, Stephen. Bye-bye. Stephen McPartland, Conservative MP for Stevenage. I'm reading what this Tracy Crouch has said, right? And I don't think it's that bad. This is what she said to The Spectator, right? Challenged on whether she shared her colleagues' fears over the cuts. And someone's already calling me Nick Ferrari on Twitter. Thanks, guys. This Crouch, 40, told The Spectator magazine, "Some of my most heartbreaking cases are those that come to me saying they're struggling. They just haven't realised some of the savings they need to make themselves, things like paid subscriptions to TV." She added, "You have to sometimes go without if you're going to have people make ends meet." Now, maybe slightly clumsily phrased. And is it an endorsement of the tax credit cuts? I don't really know if you can extrapolate it from that, but she's right, isn't she? Minimum Sky package is 22 quid. You can pay like 30, 40, 50, 60 quid if you get all the sports and the movies and all of that nonsense. That's outrageous. If you need to get a few extra quid, of course you're going to get rid of the Sky, aren't you? I mean, boy, they make it hard when you phone up and try and get rid of it. They try and keep you there as long as they can, but... In fact, I've been off Sky for about 6 months. We've still got the box and we watched Freeview through it. But I had a letter the other day saying, well, if you want to come back, we can give you a bargain price. I'm all right, thanks, Murdoch.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Bedford, on the A6, Ampthill Road is closed in both directions between Elstow Road and Britannia Road because of a moped fire, and that's causing a delay from the A47, and it's outside the Morrison's supermarket, so it's closed outside there. In Bedford, on Kempston Road, it's very slow heading from Coldwell Street towards Spring Road, and on the A4146 in Leighton Buzzard, it's very slow westbound between the Total Roundabout and the Ledburn Roundabout because of roadworks. On both directions on the Beaconsfield Road in Farnham Common, they're accused between Templewood Lane at the roadworks, and on the M25.
Zoe Ball, Threshers, Farnham Common. Isn't it fun? It's a small world, isn't it, Sammy?
Well, I guess. Yeah.
Well, you carry on. Just Zoe Ball. She used to work in the...
I like that news.
Zoe Ball used to work in the Threshers where I used to live, Farnham Common.
Did she?
Yeah. She was.
Were you pals?
No. Well, she's like 10 years older than me, so I was like 11, 12. It was just like the girl in... And then suddenly, it was like... First of all, she was the hot older girl in Threshers, right? I probably bought some hooky fags off her.
And live and kicking.
And the word was, that's Johnny Ball's daughter. Oh right, Johnny Ball's daughter. Right, yeah, nice. Then of course it becomes Zoe Ball, and then you go, I bought booze off her when I was too young to buy booze. Hey, carry on, Sammy. Sorry, please carry on. No, carry on.
Well, the M25 is busy anti-clockwise at junction 16 for the M40. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Zoe Ball.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8:30. I'm Simon Oxley. Police in Buckinghamshire have charged a man with murder after a 69-year-old died days after an altercation on a zebra crossing in Chalfont St Peter. The US military has carried out a drone strike targeting the Islamic State militant Mohammed Emwazi, known as Jihadi John. David Cameron will make a statement later. And a meeting is taking place today in Luton into the ongoing housing crisis in the town and surrounding area. Local authorities from Bedfordshire and Hertfordshire are meeting with London Borough Councils.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The boss of the Milton Keynes Red Bull team says they will race in Formula One next season after months of threatening to quit the sport in a row over a new engine. It's thought they've struck a deal with current engine supplier Renault. Christian Horner's comments also safeguard hundreds of jobs at the team's Tilbrook base in Milton Keynes. Horner was speaking in Brazil, where first practice gets underway later ahead of Sunday's Grand Prix.
We're homing in on a conclusion. That hopefully can be achieved in the coming days, and we will be in Melbourne next year, and hopefully the conclusion that we reach is going to enable us to be more competitive in the 2016 season.
England's footballers play Spain this evening in a friendly in Alicante. Former Milton Keynes Dons midfielder Dele Alli could make his first start. The Republic of Ireland are away to Bosnia-Herzegovina in the first leg of their Euro 2016 playoff. There are no matches tomorrow for Watford, Milton Keynes Dons or Wickham because of the international break. Wickham host Leeds in a friendly tonight with a 7:30 kick-off at Adams Park. In League 2 tomorrow, Luton host Barnet, Stevenage go to Yeovil. The Hatters are 13 points from top spot, but manager John Still insists they can still catch the leaders.
Over the amount of games that there are there, it's never too far away. I never know what's going to happen in that respect. But, we're pretty confident that if we can go on a run that perhaps would be similar to the run we went on last year when we went on a good run and sort of climbed, right the way through, and the year previous. That's the sort of run we've got to find, but, it's different to last year. We've got to maintain it.
Athletics World Governing Body will make a decision today on whether to ban Russia from the sport following the damning report into doping. And England's cricketers face Pakistan later in the second one-day international in Abu Dhabi. England are one down in the four-match series. BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 9.
This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Here's the thing, Catherine. We all know, right, and I thought it was, who? What? Where, when, why? Why did some guy travel? Do you remember that advert? It was for a comic about knowledge.
No.
I don't understand that. Paul, explain that message. I don't know who either of those people are in that message you just mentioned to me. It's accepted fact, isn't it, that The Voice is rubbish.
Oh, I quite like it.
Oh.
No, I only like the bit where the chairs turn round. I don't like any... Well, and I quite like the bit where they shout at each other in a boxing ring. But apart from that, it's rubbish.
They do what?
Yeah, they have a sing-off, right? It's a battle.
Oh, for
But really what it is an exercise in shouting at each other. So one of them... You know you make me want to shout.
Flipping it, and that was her microphone was switched off halfway through that screen. Well, it's been a ratings flop, and it's done poorly. Let's ask a young person.
Hi,
The
I'm a young
Voice.
person. Yep. What about it?
What do you talk about it at school?
No,
Are
not
the other
really.
kids on the paper round?
No, we don't bring it up.
Okay. Well, the Voice, the BBC has lost its voice.
Oh.
I made that up myself. BBC has lost its voice. I did it again. And it's been sold to ITV, right? Let them have it. It's rubbish. Let them have it. It's rubbish. I thought everyone knew it was rubbish.
I quite like it. I like it better than the X
Everyone
Factor.
likes the bit where they swivel on it. But then after that, the ratings drop. Every series, the ratings drop when the chairs go.
What I love about it,
All right, Kath.
the swivelly bit.
Yes, boss.
I wish I had one of those in the office, actually, as to whether I want to involve myself in people's conversations or not.
I know, listen, we've got 20 minutes.
I've already sent him out something.
Oh, okay, fine.
Why? What did
I
you
was
think?
going to get him to say whether he's bothered about the voice or not. But
All
then
right,
fine,
do that
whatever.
instead.
No, I don't care.
We'll do that instead.
He's gone.
It's be-
Where
he's
is
gone
he?
upstairs. It'll be 20 minutes up there.
All right. It don't matter. Daily, do whatever you want. We're talking about the voice. If you want to take... If you can ask if anyone's bothered about the voice, Daily, you're welcome to. Whatever, I don't mind.
But what I do like is when someone comes on, and Kerry Ellis went on it once, and she's like a big West End star, but obviously wanted to relaunch herself.
Oh, yeah, famous people go on there, don't
and they didn't turn round.
Beautiful. Good, serves them right.
Bit of Schadenfreude.
Awkward.
Was Shard and Freud on there? I love those two guys. I thought Shard was overrated in the 80s, very bland. What was her song?
Smooth operator.
I know a rude version to that.
I bet you do. I'll hear it later.
Rocker Ricky Wilson.
I liked him. Hang on, I just need to speak to Justin.
I like the first Kaiser Chiefs album. After that, not interested, thanks very much. Rocker Ricky Wilson is quitting The Voice. In other words, he's not been asked to do The Voice when it goes to ITV.
He's got a job. He's got a band, hasn't he?
After declaring he will not move the show when it leaves the BBC. The Kaiser Chiefs star's appearance on the next series with fellow coaches Boy George, William and Paloma Faith will be his last. I refuse to say it. You can't put full stops in a name. You can't do that. Stupid, it's William.
What, like Richard E. Grant?
It's nothing like it.
His surname's Am, right?
Amran.
Am.
He's South African, isn't he?
Who?
Richard E. Grant.
Isn't he from Swaziland?
Yeah, so speak Swahili. I'm from, you may have noticed, I'm from Swaziland. I speak Swahili. The next run will also be the final one on the Beeb after it decided to walk away from a bidding war over the show because it's rubbish.
You can have it.
ITV is expected to snap up the popular talent contest, although the broadcaster says no deal is done yet. When asked if he was worried about The Voice leaving the BBC, Ricky, 37, for goodness sakes, why are people lying like that? That guy's not 37. Said, I don't my last one anyway. I was going to back gracefully. I don't think ITV would want me. They want to have a totally new show.
He's from Yorkshire.
Who is that?
Ricky Wilson from the Kaiser Chiefs.
And who is that?
He's the lead singer in the Kaiser Chiefs, mate.
Your voice wasn't anything like
Your
Ricky
voice.
Wilson.
I bet you could do Ricky Wilson really well, can't you?
No, I can't.
There we go, you see. Thank you very much indeed. There's really nothing in the papers. Catherine, I could do with you in here to have a little look through
All right.
to help Phil for the last 20 minutes, because I'll be honest. A third of couples... Here we go. We're back in the room. Let's get... Hang on, I can make up for the fact that we have no content. Hang on a second. By playing music, you see. Music is the doctor.
Speaking of which, I think you pinched my record.
Doing that song about a snake?
No. We got this. Here we go. Oh, no, hang on. What record have I pinched?
I'm single. It's
No,
all right,
no.
you carry on there. I saw you chuck it on the floor.
Yeah, I chucked it on the floor. I've got to press this. There we go.
you did make it up.
Here we go. Let's get back to the beginning. This is good. Here we go. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang! A third of couples in long-term relationships cannot remember the last time they romped.
Romped?
I do. It was just before the end of the last century. Romped. 1 in 10.
Define romp. I mean, it sounds very up and downy to me.
1 in 10 admitted...
Don't lamb romp. Lambs.
No, they
Gamble.
They gamble. 1 in 10 admitted to no sexual relationship at all with their partner, with family life and work getting in the way. Half said they lacked the confidence to talk about their fantasies.
Oh, blimey.
I fantasise about you having sex with me one night.
What, me?
No, not you.
Oh, okay.
Blimey, don't get you three involved. While a quarter feared the reaction they might get.
What reaction?
Put that way.
Get off.
The top role-playing fantasies were doctors and nurses. Now, anyone that's been involved in a serious medical procedure will find doctors and nurses very unerotic. French maids, and here's the one.
I don't do anything where I have to tidy up, not even pretending.
Schoolgirls.
Now.
Isn't it, though?
No.
Isn't it? I know why men find... I know why people find the schoolgirl thing erotic, because it's kind of 13, 14, 15 is when we become sexually aware, OK? And so those are the images that we are presented. You know, you're 13 and suddenly you've gone from just being interested in playing with marbles to playing with, well, your marbles. And you are surrounded by 13, 14, 15-year-old girls in school uniform. So that's why that is locked in as a sexual imagery. It's still weird, though.
Yeah, it's not on.
It's still weird, isn't it? Maria Byrne of the Fantasy Box Adults store...
Oh, hang on. She's come up with this, has she?
said, we just don't talk about what we really want. And what we really want is sex toys from the Fantasy Box Adults store. Come buy them now.
And
what have you found in the papers while I was talking, which was your cue?
I was too busy
to
thinking
look
about...
in the papers.
All right.
And
George Clooney bought a sandwich yesterday.
Oh, yeah, go on. I like this.
It was from a shop, one of those shops where you can lay aside some money for someone who can't afford to buy their own sandwich. And he went along to say, yeah, go on, guys, do that. That's a really good idea. And people took pictures of him.
More importantly than that...
Yeah. What could be more important than that?
It's staffed by the homeless.
Yeah.
I hope they wash their hands first.
Well, I mean, that's health and safety.
And then he had a date. He had a lunch. Then a woman won a lunch date. 5 Live were wetting themselves having this woman on there. What was it? What were they like? What were they like?
He was like a bloke
Tony,
eating
he was
a
like
sandwich.
a really nice bloke, and he was really kind. What did he look like? Well, Tony, he was very nice. But what was he like? What was he like? Did you sleep with him? No, we're both married, Tony. Money off if you... Oh, no! Is it... Oh, no, maybe it was in yesterday's paper. I don't know.
Tell me now.
No, it was a story about old people having to reset their driving test.
No.
As per usual. I tell you, give us 30 seconds. There we go. It was worth the wait. Catherine's found something. What you got?
Goodness grommet, screams the Daily Express, page 25.
Yes.
Is Britain losing its love of cheese? It just about takes the biscuit. The average Briton can name just 4 of the nation's 700-plus varieties of cheese.
Well, hang on a minute.
Or queso, as they call it in España.
Let's do that. Well, no, you're talking about our nation's cheeses.
I know, about cheese.
Cheddar.
Yes.
Cheesy strings.
No, that does not compute.
Dairy Lee.
No.
That is a flippin' mini Baby Bell. Boom, there's 4 of them.
Baby Bell are not English.
Have you ever seen a bell?
What, a big one?
Yeah, have you seen the big ones?
You can get them, can't you?
Yeah,
Big wheel.
you can. You can get a mini Baby Bell, but it's not mini nor baby. It's like Grandad Bell.
That's too much cheese, isn't it?
No, because those things. There's not enough cheese in a mini Baby Bell. You got to pull the wrapper off.
Unwrap it?
You have to pull the. Yeah. You pull the wrapper off, then you pull the wax strip off, and then you just. Oh, I love that.
I love a Baby Bell.
Yep.
Delicious. It's one of those things, kids' food that I nick. Baby Bells.
Yeah. Oh,
Pom Bears is another.
Pom Bears,
Oh,
Baby
yeah.
Bells.
No.
Yep. You've got to love that.
Anyway, so according to a study, 1 in 6, and that's 15%, has never heard of Stilton, and a quarter do not know Wensleydale exists, despite its popularity with animated British film heroes Wallace and Gromit. The sad slice of life suggests the traditional cheese board is dying out in Britain due largely to ignorance about the wealth of tasty cheeses available around the UK. A mere 19% of people can name 6 or more British cheeses.
Well, hang on a minute. Why would people have to name... At what point are you going to be tied to a chair with a masked man with a gun at your head? Name the 6 cheeses! It's not going to happen. Why would you have to?
Is that an oblique request? Do you want me to?
No, I don't want to. Scoins could do it. Scoins could name all the cheeses, and look how boring he is.
But Scoins is the only one keeping the cheese market afloat.
Gosh, Pixie Lott in leather hot pants. I mean, really, what's the world coming to? There's an image. Thanks, Pixie. A lot. Pixie a lot.
Don't, because it's not.
Daniel O'Donnell live in concert, UK tour September 2016. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. Do get in there as quickly as you can because it's guaranteed they're going to sell out because I'm very popular guy. I'll be playing live in concert, doing a concert tour through September 2016. I'm playing all the places in the world. I'm playing the Croydon Fairfield Halls, playing in the Bournemouth, probably the localist gig to you guys in BBC Three Counties Radio is going to be in Nottingham at the Royal Concert Hall. I look forward to seeing all my fans there as I've been doing all of my songs from my albums. I've got a new Christmas album coming out called Merry Christmas from Daniel O'Donnell. UK tour goes on sale tomorrow, September 26th. It's next year. It's for the next year. The concerts in next year, 2016. Don't get so confused.
That's just your Terry Wogan with a tighter mouth.
No.
It is.
No. It's Daniel O'Donnell. I'll be doing a concert next year, 2016. You'll be able to come and see me live in concert. I'll be doing all the songs I'm famous for. Catherine, what's one of your favourite songs that I sing?
Oh, we'll sing one. You'll probably sing When Irish Eyes Are Smiling.
When Irish eyes are smiling, oh Danny boy, the pipes.
And I bet he does an Elvis one.
No, I don't do an Elvis song.
I bet he does.
No, I don't. I do an Elvis medley. I do a song from the 50s, a song from the 60s,
You're always
and I
on
do
my
the song from the
mind.
70s. I do in the ghetto. In the ghetto, a delicious dessert there.
Danny, I bet you can do Daniel O'Donnell, can't you?
No, I wouldn't want to do someone that Irish because my nan would batter me.
There we go. And that is passive-aggressive racism. I wouldn't want to do someone that Irish. Outrageous. Well, I just think that's absolutely disgusting.
You know my surname's Boyle, right?
Right. Yeah, it's Catherine Boyle, yeah?
I'm offended.
Is that an Irish name? Well, why don't you go and buy a ticket to go and see Daniel O'Donnell live in concert? The nearest concert to you guys is going to be in Nottingham, and I'm happy to come on and nick off a show and talk about it. And maybe if someone brings in a guitar, I'll even sing a couple of songs for you guys.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Bedford, on the A6, Amptill Road's been closed in both directions between Elstow Road and Britannia Road outside the Morrison's supermarket because of an accident. A moped's caught fire there and it's causing a delay to the on the A6 to the A421, and it's also affecting the surrounding roads. The Goldington Road's really busy between Newnham Avenue and the A6, and also Rope Walk's looking very slow too. On the A1, it's slow southbound approaching the Black Cat roundabout from the St Neots junction, and on the M25, it's busy anti-clockwise from junction 16 for the M40 to 15 for the M4. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you so much, Sam. It's absolutely delightful to be here. Hello, this is Daniel O'Donnell, and I'll be doing... This is Daniel O'Donnell.
Stop it now.
And I'll be doing the rest of the show for you here on BBC Three Counties Radio. And coming up, I'll be singing one of my Christmas songs before it hits the headlines. Police in Buckinghamshire have charged a man with murder after a 69-year-old died after an altercation on a zebra crossing in Chalfont St Peter. The US military has carried out a drone strike targeting the Islamic State militant Mohammed Emwazi, known as Jihadi John, and the parents of a Hemel Hempstead teenager who came off his moped and was left paralysed say they're facing a battle to secure specialist treatment for him. Let's get the weather!
Beds, Hearts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hello, very good morning to you. It's quite a chilly start to the day. In fact, it's going to feel remarkably chilly through the day, particularly when you compare it to all the mild weather that we've been having so far this week. And it's also just started to rain for some areas as well. We've got this band of showers just creeping in from the west. It's moving relatively quickly. It's got some very gusty winds on it as well. So it won't last for very long, but you will certainly notice it as it comes through. So some heavy rain just for a short time and some strong gusts of wind. You could even get a rumble or two of thunder as well. So it's currently across parts of Bedfordshire, and it's going to be gradually pushing its way eastwards through the rest of the morning. Not lasting for too long, as I said, but very wet and windy just for a short time. And then as we head into the afternoon, there'll still be the odd isolated shower here and there, but also some spells of sunshine, just feeling rather chilly, and it will stay blustery through the day with a brisk westerly wind. Top temperatures today only up to 10 or 11 degrees. Overnight tonight, it's going to feel cool. It should be mostly dry, lows of around 5 or 6 degrees in many of the towns. And then for tomorrow, it will gradually get milder again. So it's a bit of a one-day wonder, this chilliness, really. Milder weather, and we'll start to get some more outbreaks of rain as we head through the afternoon and the first part of the evening. Sunday's looking like the drier day, but it's still going to be rather grey and overcast. There will be some drizzle at times, and it's going to remain windy through the weekend. That's the forecast.
Nick Coffer's Weekend Kitchen.
Among 8 fabulous dishes for you to make at home in this week's Weekend Kitchen, a comforting autumn spotted dick.
It's the right time of year for the nice steamed puddings, a roly-poly or indeed the spotted dick.
Spectacular prawn linguine.
At the end, we just toss in the Atlantic prawns, because all you want to do with those prawns, because they're cooked, is just heat them through at the end.
And the ultimate homemade donuts with a salted caramel filling.
Nick Coffer's Weekend Kitchen.
Get all the recipes Sunday morning here on BBC Three Counties Radio.
I'd like to sing a two tongues for you now. Here we go.
When Irish eyes are smiling, sure it's like a morning spring. In the lilt of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world is bright and gay. But when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they'd steal your heart.
Jimmy on Twitter says, OMG, we really are struggling for content today, aren't we? Yes. Yes, we are. We should have looked at the newspapers beforehand instead of me emailing my lesbian and gay Christian friends, which I was actually doing. And we had Tracy we had on last week.
My Irish eyes aren't smiling now.
No. He's doing a medley of them. It's amazing, isn't it? And speaking of bland,
It's the same.
It's just been announced who is replacing Terry... That was unfair. Who's replacing Terry Wogan this evening?
Vernon Kay.
No.
Dermot.
Ladies and gentlemen, my good buddy, Mr. Dermot O'Leary. He's a friend of mine. I've not seen him for years, but he's a good friend of mine. And I shan't be watching anyway. I choose not to, primarily because, tonight we're watching the fourth in the Star Wars trilogy. Was it called A Child Is Born? When a Child Is Born, starring Johnny Mathis and Jar Jar Binks.
How are you getting on with the pretend ones?
Well, this is the first one we've seen.
Right,
This
okay.
is the first one that we've
Tell
seen.
me though, because
listen.
I'm
The
planning
thing
not
is,
to bother.
right? Everyone gets all snarky about the first three, the second three.
Do you know why though? Because we saw the sort of reboots of the first ones and thought, what are you doing that for? There's no need for that. So I can only
Now I'm
imagine it's
confused.
more of that.
I don't know, and now I don't even know what we're talking about. So I'm watching. I don't know what it's called. Well, that's the first three, but they're
Drones,
the second
the
three.
Attack of the
Star
Drones.
I'm on the
Wars.
phone. Hold on, Ian. Just wait a minute. Sorry, Ian.
Is it Attack of the Drones or something? Is that what it's called?
I'm his flipping boss, and he's on the phone to some chancer, and he's put me on hold. He's put me on hold. Yeah, Attack of the Drones, Clone Wars, and On the Rocks. So we'll be watching one of those tonight. The thing is, right, the kids are going to love it. The boys are going to love it.
They know no better.
It's lightsabers and it's monsters and it's Jar Jar Binks. They're going to have... I
don't like Jar Jar Binks.
Well, here's the theory about, the new Star Wars film, that Jar Jar Binks is the bad guy in it. That he's like a ninja, not a ninja, what do they call it? A Jedi.
Yeah.
That's what Luke Skywalker's the bad guy in the new film.
Is he?
Yeah, he's gone bent to
Gone
the dark
rogue.
side. Yeah, he's done what his dad did. He's followed his dad's footsteps. He's gone dark.
Makes it more interesting though, because he was a right wuss, wasn't he? A music-mad pensioner has been ordered to pay more than £1,200, so it might be £1,201,
Wowzers.
after driving his neighbours mad by repeatedly playing a track by Bryan Adams at maximum volume.
What?
John Hudspeth, 72.
Can we do a phone in? Last 10 minutes of the show. Stars with pockmarked faces. Bryan Adams, your turn.
Ray Liotta.
Rob Brydon.
I think that's the lot.
No. Yeah, that's the lot for the moment. Okay.
John Hudspeth, 72, made their lives a misery by constantly putting on the Canadian singer's hit single, Summer of '69. Now, fair play, that is a good song. A court heard that the classically trained pianist, I don't know why that's relevant, also repeatedly set the windows rattling with jingle bells and a Jive Bunny megamix. Oh, he really was being aggressive there. Police went to the retired hotel manager's £150,000 home, I don't know why we needed to know that, in Willenhall, Coventry.
Local and vocal.
On July 17th, following complaints about the noise.
Seal. Thank you, Seal.
That's not pockmarked, they're scars.
It's the same thing. People with
Yeah,
lots
but
of...
pockmarks is from, like, spots, aren't
It's
they?
the... Oh, for
No.
goodness sake. No, I'm having
Did
that.
we ever find out what that was? Seal always kept that a mystery, didn't he?
He's been kissed by a rose. Probably
Oh,
that.
that'll do it.
Julian's on the line. Morning, Julian.
Morning, how are you?
I'm all right, fella. I'm hungry and I've got a long day ahead of me, but I'm all right. What you got for us?
I was just going to say, when you were doing your lovely, lovely Irish accent,
Thank you.
not in a funny way, but I can just imagine you in a lovely pair of stockings, a dress, fake boobs, makeup, you sounded exactly like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, for good. Well, I
Who was
take
Scottish.
I take that as a I take that as a great compliment. That A, I sound like one of the classic, iconic movie characters of all time, and B, that you think of me in an erotic manner, Julian.
No, I did make it clear, not in a funny way, I said.
Well, there's nothing funny about falling in love with a man in a dress. We've all been there. We've all been there, Julian. Thank you. Matt! This must be like home time for you.
Oh, they're applauding Matt.
Thank you so much.
Now, who's coming for a lovely cup of tea?
You like that? You like that, Matty?
I just want to find out why you're taking the mick out of Daniel O'Donnell.
Out of who?
My great friend Daniel O'Donnell.
Daniel O'Donnell. I don't know a Daniel O'Donnell. Is he related to Daniel O'Donnell?
Look, why you have to scrape the bottom of the barrel and take the mick out of other people? I think you're a bit of a racist towards us Irish, you know?
Sorry, what were you saying? I wasn't listening, huh?
You heard.
Okay, why don't you say hello to Justin?
Hello, Justin.
Good morning, Matt. How are you, boss?
I can't wait for your show tomorrow. Justin, you have a great Saturday show. I
means
really
a
look
lot.
forward to it.
Thank you, Matt.
And
Thank
the
you.
music is always good, not like somebody I know.
I kind of feel like you're using me, Matt, to get at Iain here.
No, I don't need to get it in. He gets it himself. When he abuses people like Daniel O'Donnell, which is
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, years ago, Matt, it was around Christmas time, somebody stole my Daniel O'Donnell CD from my office, from my pigeonhole. And it really hurt me at the time. Really hurt.
I mean, I am a Johnny Cash fan myself, but I do like Daniel O'Donnell because he's Irish.
What a great reason to like Daniel O'Donnell. He's Irish.
He's one of us. He's one of us.
One of you,
and if
yeah.
Iain could copy Daniel O'Donnell, what a great man for charity.
Yeah, boss. Yeah. Why don't you copy him for charity, eh? Children Need Today. Why don't you sing a song?
No, don't let him sing,
I'm
please.
traveling so fast, feet ain't touching the ground. Traveling light, traveling light. Well, I just can't wait to be with my baby tonight. No comb and no toothbrush.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Cliff Richard and Daniel O'Donnell live in concert. Imagine that, Matt.
Oh, God, I'm hanging up now. I've had enough of you. Good night. See you tomorrow, Justin.
Thanks, Matt. Take care, Matty
Tatty
Bum
bye.
Bum.
You are, of course, on the radio tomorrow, Justin, and it's a delight,
Yep.
6 till 9 o'clock. Who can we expect? What magical moments may we memorise?
Magical. Yeah, we have Chris Farlow coming on tomorrow and also Steve Ellis from The Love Affair.
Beautiful.
2 geezers chairs tomorrow, so it should be good fun.
The voice, the BBC have lost their voice. I'm really pleased with that line. I'm surprised no one else has picked up on it. Sorry?
It's good.
What are you tapping your fingers for?
I'm doing the quiet hand clap with 2 fingers.
Thank you very much indeed. Dealey, you've taken it to the streets. Are people bothered by it?
Yeah, I'm going to miss it on the BBC, that's
for
sure.
goodness sakes, go on.
No, it's a great programme. Here's what the streets had to say. Sir, The Voice, it's going.
The Voice? Oh, I didn't even know. Didn't even realise.
It's going from the BBC. You look distraught.
I'm relieved, not about distraught.
You didn't like it then?
I didn't think much of it, no.
Why not? Come on, it's people on there with a talent, and it's all about their voice, not how they look. Surely that's a good thing.
Well, I just found it, it was the same old thing, to be honest, time after time. And I didn't think that the judges, you know, were that sincere either.
Oh, really?
No. I found they'd say something, but mean something else.
What did you make of Willie's Am on there?
Sorry, the...
Willie's Am?
Willie's Am? Oh, Will I Am. Yeah, he was... actually, I think he was probably the best one of the lot. He at least injected a bit of humour into it.
Hello, madam. You're dressed up for the winter, aren't you?
Well, you have to be, don't you, this weather?
Fantastic. I'll tell you what, it's going to take you a long time to get all them clothes off, isn't it?
A long while. Just a day and a half, I think.
Right, OK, quick question for you guys. The BBC has lost its voice. The voice has left.
That's right, gone on ITV.
Yeah, well, you know it too well. Will you miss it on the BBC? Do you think the BBC were a bit silly to let it go?
I mean, it's still The Voice, isn't it? What's going to be, I think.
But when it goes onto ITV, you're definitely going to watch it again?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What did you like about the programme?
Well, that's entertaining, I think. You got different people, you don't know who's coming on, and different voices, different judges. They're all good, aren't they?
Feedback, guys. Have a good weekend.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy taking your wife's clothes off.
Oh, we will.
The BBC has let The Voice go. The Voice is leaving the BBC. Were you a fan of the programme?
Not really.
Why not?
I just didn't watch that.
What about you?
No, it was just annoying. Yeah.
Why was it annoying? Give me a reason.
Get loads of like wannabes on it when they're not really that great.
Do you think I'm a wannabe?
No.
How would you describe me in one word?
Normal.
That really does mean a lot. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
I can think of one word I'd use to describe you, just but...
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
6 in Bedford, Ampthill Road's been closed both ways outside the Morrison's supermarket between Britannia Road and Elstow Road. That's because a moped's caught fire and it's causing long delays in and around the area. It's from the Broadway, and the High Street is looking very busy. Also, London Road slow northbound with queues from Acacia Road towards Rope Walk, and Cardington Road is very slow westbound between the A421 and the Cardington Road, and that's all because of the problems on the Ampthill Road. On the Findlay Way in Bletchley, there's been a serious accident, so that's been closed between Lennox Road and Westfield Road, and the M25 is slow anti-clockwise between junction 16 for the M40 and 15 for the M4. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Sammy, thank you very much indeed. That's it. That's your lot. Don't forget, Catherine and I are back tomorrow at midday. It's a phoning show with no topics. You can call in about anything you want. Don't bother us at all. Or nothing. Even nothing. New podcast for this week will be up at some point later on today, I'm assuming, will it, Danny?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much indeed. That's it. That's your lot. Until tomorrow at midday from us. Ta-ta.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Iain. Good morning. Welcome to the JVS show. I'm Jonathan Vernon Smith. It's Friday. It's 9 o'clock, and today it's our big local story, and I want your calls. A month ago, Chief Inspector Gavin Hughes-Rowland told BBC Three Counties Radio Bedfordshire police were winning the war against antisocial bikers. This week, 3 riders with no helmets and their faces covered did wheelies past our BBC studios, throwing me and my team the middle finger. Listeners told me who they were, how old they are, and where they live. Well, on the big phone in, you told me those boys make life in Dunstable and Houghton Regis an absolute misery. Well, after a little detective work, I found a mobile phone number for this gang, and I've spoken to them. For today's programme, hear what they have to say, and I'll ask you, do you think the dirt bike riders need help or handcuffs? Your telephone call on 03459 455 555.
This is the JVS show
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
All of that coming up in just a second, but first let's get the latest BBC News at 9 o'clock with Simon Oxley.
The headlines: man charged with Buckinghamshire Village murder, US drone strike targets Jihadi John, and meeting to discuss Luton housing crisis.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Police in Buckinghamshire have charged a man with murder after a 69-year-old died days after an altercation on a zebra crossing in Chalfont St Peter. More from Lee Agnew.
70-year-old Odysseus Vafiadis of Birchdale in Gerrards Cross has been charged with the murder of Paul Davidson from Chalfont St Peter, who died at his home on Monday following an incident last Friday. Mr Vafiadis is due to appear at High Wycombe Magistrates Court this morning. A second man who was arrested was released without charge.
A senior American military source has said there's a high degree of certainty that a British Islamic extremist known as Jihadi John was killed in a drone attack in Syria last night. Mohammed Emwazi became notorious after appearing in videos showing Western hostages, including British aid workers, being beheaded. The BBC's security correspondent Frank Gardner has more.
The fact that David Cameron is going to be making a statement later today shows that it's pretty likely they have got him. Also, very importantly, the militants in Raqqa are discussing his death, reportedly. So I think it would be very surprising if he rose from the grave and survived this. So this would make him the 4th leading militant to be targeted successfully in one of these US or British drone strikes in Syria.
A meeting is taking place today in Luton into the ongoing housing crisis in the town and surrounding area. Local authorities from Bedfordshire and Hertfordshire are meeting with London Borough Councils, which continue to place their homeless population in the region. Luton Councillor Tom Shaw says they accept they will have to take people in, but with conditions.
That's in the understanding as well that you will not statutory overcrowd. You will not send children here with special needs without telling us about it. You won't send people who have got mental health problems without telling us they've got mental health problems so we can make provision.
The parents of a Hemel Hempstead teenager who came off his moped and was left paralysed say they're facing a battle